Let that shit run, Appa. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first edition of a Kickers League podcast featuring myself, AJ, my boys, Marius and Scott. Just want to introduce you to our new little thing that we're going to be doing weekly because we have a passion for sports and especially a passion for football. So, firstly, just going to say thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to us bullshit about a sport that we are very passionate about. So, talking about the podcast real quick, every week we're gonna try and get together. We're gonna talk about this week in the NFL, everything going on, predictions, who's this, who's that, what's happening, pretty much all like the main storylines because we love to talk about football. We'd love to share that with the masses. So, first off, I just want to introduce myself. My name is AJ. I am a lifelong Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, and I know what you might be thinking because someone coming out here saying they're a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan right after they won the Super Bowl. But when I tell you that I have been through some shit, I've been a fan through the Josh Freemans, the Bruce Gradkowskis, the Jameis Winstons. I have seen the number one overall pick in the draft. I have seen it fail. I have been through it. And this Super Bowl last year was easily one of the best moments of being a fan my entire life. I wasn't old enough to drink when they won back in 2003. So I really got to enjoy this one. So with that being said, I just want to tell you about the best part about being a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan. And for me, it hasn't happened yet. Mainly because I'm flying down to Tampa from New York City to watch the home opener and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers raising that championship flag after defeating the Chiefs in Super Bowl 55. So, I get to see that with my own two eyes. But with these same two eyes, I've also seen the worst. I have been to 15 Tampa Bay Buccaneer games in my life. And their record in those games? 0-15.
Big oof.
Big oof on that. So I'm hoping that week 1, September 9th, 2021, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get to win in person for me against those Dallas Cowboys. Also, I just want to sit here and say, fuck the Saints. I hate them. Don't like anything about them. Never have. Never will. Take your Drew Brees and shove it. Your Camaras. And especially your Jameis Winstons. So next, I just want to move on and introduce you to the next co-host of this podcast, Kickers League podcast. Scott, how you doing, baby? Talk to me.
I'm pretty good, I gotta say. What's up? Scotty G. Whatever you want to call me, I guess. I'm a Jets fan. Live a sad life. But I'm an optimistic Jets fan right now. I mean, I like what we're doing. I like what they're looking like in preseason. I know it's just preseason, but you gotta start somewhere. I can't be sad all the time, right? Boy, there's a lot of moments. I guess I could say that I hate my division, but I really don't hate my division. I mean, could give two shits about the Bills, even though they're good. The Dolphins have fucked me over my entire life, and I couldn't sit here honestly. Yeah, maybe I hate the Patriots. I couldn't sit here and say I don't hate the Patriots. I could probably spend hours on why I hate the Patriots. But the main reason I hate the Patriots is gone. He's on your team, AJ. I can't.
That's your bippy.
I can't hate on them that much anymore. They kind of fucking suck. Even though the next Tom Brady got drafted. So,
listen, 3 letters in the first name, 5 letters in the last name. Tom Brady, Mac Jones. Maybe you got another 20 years to spare. I'm pulling for you, though.
I saw it coming, man. It's not looking good. But, like I said, I'm sitting here. I'm going to be an optimistic man. Love football. There's not a lot of good moments in Jets history. I guess I have to say that the best moment in Jets history, for me anyway, was definitely watching us beat the Patriots in the playoffs. I mean, the divisional round. That was my Super Bowl. That I'll never forget that moment. That where I was, what I was doing, at our friend's house, getting drunk, being real happy. You don't get many of those moments, so got to take them in while you have them.
Cherish them, my dude.
And that was my happiest moment. And I couldn't. I have way too many sad moments to.
Well, what was
go
your
through.
saddest moment, Scott? I mean, I know.
I mean, the next game I literally threw my phone at the wall and broke it in half. So that's pretty good. I don't know. I could. The Steelers, us missing the 2 kicks against the Steelers in the playoffs. Testaverde tearing his Achilles.
The butt fumble. Butt fumble. You were there live.
I know.
You were there in
Yeah,
person.
the 3 touchdowns in 57 seconds. Yeah,
that was Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, that was good. It was great. It was a great day up until that
Happy
point, man.
Thanksgiving, my dude.
It was a good day.
You love to hear it.
But like I said, there's too many for me to go through to take up all this time. So,
I love to hear it. I'm sorry. I mean, we've been through the shitter too, so I totally know what you're feeling. But I don't anymore because we're the champs. So
I'm hoping to be there one day.
I'm pulling for you, my dude. I'm definitely pulling for you big time. I mean, the only bad part about the Jets winning the Super Bowl, whatever particular year, is that the Bucks don't. But, I could live with that. But, yo, Marius, how you doing, my dude?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man.
How you doing? Talk to me.
I am good. So I'm unfortunately a Jets fan as well. But I'm also a big Matty Ice fan. So you're going to be hearing some Matty Ice bias coming from me.
You'll hear the opposite from me.
I really think that he's like one of the best. I really think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. The year that they made the Super Bowl, I predicted them winning the Super Bowl like week 3 that year. Because they just even in preseason they just looked amazing. But going through and the whole thing with me being a Jets fan. We had this conversation earlier about like your best and worst moments, and I couldn't think of a best moment. So I Googled it just to see. I said, you know what are the best Jets moments? So there's some notable ones that I wanted to mention.
Actually, could I actually change mine to Joe Namath telling Susie Colbert that he wants to kiss her? Like that might actually be the greatest
Whoa,
moment. in Jets
easy
history.
there.
that was
Sexual harassment.
that was on the list.
Was it? They're such an atrocity of a franchise that their star quarterback sexually harassed the female reporter.
Listen, dude,
The Rex Ryan foot fetish was on there. they had
the
that.
Sanchez tattoo. That's got to be there, right?
Well, don't forget it's in blue now
Oh, that's right. He was.
so
a
it's
Bills.
not Sanchez
Yeah.
anymore. It's some whoever number 6 is on the fucking.
Listen, we all know
Bills.
who that is and who that was, and who good old Mrs.
Ryan.
Good old Mrs. Ryan gets to look at every time. I don't even want to get into that.
Rex Ryan sucking her toes.
We're not getting into that. Not in the first 10 minutes of this podcast, fellas. We could revisit this at episode 4. But once we get to that point, we'll somebody write that down. I'm gonna write that down. So whoever tunes in episode 4, we're gonna get into Rex Ryan's tattoo sex. All right, but
yeah.
keep going, Marius. Keep going.
So we got Geno Smith getting knocked out. That was one of their best moments right there. We have Sam Darnold getting mono.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
That was a top moment right there. Obviously the butt fumble.
I remember where I was when that happened too.
The butt
I mean, it was
fumble
Thanksgiving,
great.
but
I turned to my friend and I go, "Did he just run to his own player's ass?" Like I wasn't sure because the replay hadn't happened yet, and then he did, and it confirmed what I suspected.
the worst thing you could even imagine.
But you know what? I think honestly, my favorite moment was when the Jets got Brett Favre. I don't think I was ever happier than when I got that update. It just was unexpected. I was at work and
good
when
old
I saw
Jet
it, I was
Favre.
just, man, that was our year. If he didn't get hurt, that was our year.
If they didn't try to
man.
play through him being hurt,
Yeah,
we could have even made.
Yeah,
the
what were we
playoffs.
like 8-4?
We were 8-4
Yeah.
and missed the playoffs. That's the Jets in a nutshell.
Listen, it happens to the best of us. Good
Yeah.
old boy Josh Freeman led the Bucks
But
to
hey-
10-6, and we missed the playoffs that year because we lost to the 2-14 Lions week 16. But I don't want to get into that right now. But what I do want to get into, the three of us, we want to talk about in this previous, right before week 3 of the preseason. We have a couple predictions coming your way. We want to revisit this at the end of the season, see who was right, see who was wrong. Maybe we have to do some stupid shit. Who knows? We don't know that yet, but what we are going to do right now is we're going to talk some football. So, legitimately, we're going to talk about each division. We're going to talk about who's going to win, who we think's going to be terrible, pretty much all that jazz. And we're going to start with, since we got 2 Jet fans in the house, we're going to start with the AFC East. Marius, who do you think's taking it?
There is no way the Jets are taking it.
No shot. No shot.
No shot. Absolutely.
No way.
If we finish with 6 wins,
No way.
I'm saying if we do,
Even
that
with the
would be the
extra
most
game.
successful season.
Even with the extra game, I don't think so.
I didn't ask you who's going to finish with 6 wins in the
I'm just saying it would be.
East.
I would just be happy if they did. That's it. I'm just stating my happiness that, like, I'm trying to be optimistic here.
Listen,
remember,
you know what? Listen, when you're rebuilding, when you draft your next franchise quarterback, you got to be hopeful. You got to think for the future. But the future isn't always the very next season. So, I'm going to ask Marius, I'm going to ask you fellas again.
You know what?
Who you think's taking it?
I mean, it's
who's
I think I'm
taking
gonna have
it?
to go. Even though they have the third, worst odds, I think I'm gonna take the Patriots.
It's hard to bet against
They're plus
good old Billy B.
360. That might be nice to just throw a little cash on that because.
I mean, it's
Cam
a nice
Newton's
payout.
second year. Cam was hurt last year.
Listen,
He got.
I don't even think
COVID.
it's going to be Cam though. I think it's going to be Mac. Mac's going to they're already not liking what Cam's doing. They're already frustrated with the guy. We haven't seen him improve in 2 or 3 years, even though last year was his first year. Mac's new blood, and that's Belichick's pick. That's like the earliest Belichick has ever had a pick. And, you can't argue against the king.
No, you can't. But you know what? You also, Belichick's an old school guy. If he's got talent right up front, I don't think Billy B believes in taking a rookie quarterback and throwing him to the wolves. I really don't think he thinks that. And also, if you do remember, I've seen more than enough of Cam Newton in my day. I've seen him twice a year. I've seen what he's capable of. I've seen MVP possible seasons out of the guy. I don't think he's done quite yet because pre-COVID, before he caught the Rona last year, Cam, he's going in. He was doing regular Cam stuff. He was punching the ball in before that shoulder got tweaked. He was putting in some work. But I don't think the Pats are going to take the division. I don't. I could see them getting a wild card. I could. But how do you bet against the Bills right now? I don't know. I don't think you can. Josh Allen is capable of big things. He's going to be an elite quarterback in this league. He's got the stature, he's got the arm. Now with Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley being in the slot,
That's a potent offense.
That's what
and
I'm
that's
saying,
a really good defense.
Listen, they got a sneaky good defense too. That's right, Scott. So it might be the sexy pick to go with Buffalo, but I don't see how you pick against them. I mean, Brian Flores, Tua Tagovailoa, you got all these guys coming up in the Dolphins. I don't think they're going to be bad. But I don't think they're there yet to win the division.
I mean, I can't, after last year with Tua, I can't.
Well, he's been showing up in preseason.
No,
I know it's preseason. You gotta, but I don't think he's on quite the level or will be on quite the level. He also isn't surrounded with the same talent that Josh Allen has. Josh Allen is now in the league for several years. He's got the experience. He knows the speed of the game. He didn't get benched for Ryan Fitzpatrick last season. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa, easy, all right?
Hey, listen,
easy.
I know. Listen, you went through the
This is
Fitzmagic. I
we're
went through the
talking about, right?
Fitzmagic. We all been through the Fitz. We know what it's like. But, it doesn't usually go well for the guy that gets benched for Fitzpatrick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at where everybody that got benched for Fitzpatrick is. They ain't doing too hot. They're not doing too great.
Jameis is.
I don't think.
Jameis is a starter.
I honestly don't think Tua's that good.
Well, we haven't seen anything from him either.
No, we seen Tua last year.
Barely.
Yeah, barely. We haven't seen
and the
enough.
games that they did win, it was like the defense carrying them. They get a play on special teams. Luckily, they had one game against the Rams
plays. Yeah.
last year where it was just every other play. It was a turnover, kick return. Like it was just so much stuff where it was like what the hell?
Listen,
Like,
he don't have the Fitz magic to carry his ass this season. It's all on him. So legitimately, the Dolphins' playoff hopes and their entire season, and essentially, I mean, the franchise going forward, it all lays on his shoulders. And I'm not ready to make the call on Tua just yet, but I think I'm going with the Bills. So
with the
You got to
before-
factor in too. We got the crowd's back.
That
The
is
crowd's
true.
back.
That is
Buffalo is some other kind of city.
I mean,
we were there.
We've all been there.
We were there.
I took these poor son of a bitches all the way to Buffalo for my bachelor party to watch the Bucks lose. Because remember, 0-15 in games I go to, lose to the Bills because my boy Adam Humphries, who, mind you, has only fumbled once in his career, dating back to high school. And that fumble was the game I was at towards the end. We could have had that drive. Jameis was he was playing well that day. He only had one pick, which is huge for my guy. But, so moving forward, we're going to move on to our next division, I think.
I'm gonna say one more thing.
Okay, that's fine. Hit me with it, my dude. Hit me with it.
I just wanna make it clear early on that I don't believe in Josh Allen. I didn't believe in him last year. I didn't, even though he kept proving me wrong all year last year. He kept winning games that I did not think that the Bills were gonna win. But I just don't believe in the guy.
So moving forward, Marius, before we move on to the AFC North, what's it going to take for Josh Allen to win you over? For you to say that he's legit? What's it going to take?
Definitely got to stop fumbling.
He's got fumbleitis. He does.
I'll give him if the Bills win. If the Bills win 11 games this year, because you get an extra game. If it was a regular 16-game season and they win 10 games,
I fucks with it.
Then I'll take it.
Okay.
You know what? Because most of the time this division is it's a cakewalk for the Patriots usually.
Well, there's no more Tom Brady
Facts.
anymore, so
There's
no cakewalk.
That's
So-
Tampa Tom to you, Scotty.
Yeah. So
Where
normally
I'm
it's a
from, he's
cakewalk.
Tom fucking Brady. All right.
Oh, man. I love it. All right, so moving on to the AFC North. Interesting division. Definitely up there with the most intriguing because you never know what's going to come out of them. But for me, I love me some Big Ben. I do. I believe in him. They just brought Najee Harris in, too. He ain't no James Conner. He ain't no pushover. They could dump the ball off to him and make big plays. He's a home run kind of back. You watch him in college. So, I don't know. I mean, the Ravens are nice. The Browns, Browns are the sexy pick this year, and I don't blame you. I don't blame anyone for picking them because, they signed guys like Jadeveon Clowney. They got Odell coming back. Jarvis Landry's sexy. They got the backfield duo of Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. I understand it, but you know what? Experience. The Steelers? It's hard for me to bet against Mike Tomlin, man. I'm going with the Steelers in the North. They're going to surprise everybody.
I get the experience, but I could also say health. Like that literally, this whole division is determined whether Ben is healthy or not. That's it. That's how this division lays. Because if Ben is healthy, then sure, they win. If not, then it's I don't like the Ravens. I don't like him. I don't like Lamar Jackson. I don't think
they don't have any wide receiver help.
he has nobody to throw to. He has Mark Andrews, I think, is like his main target. Hollywood Brown didn't show up last year.
Hollywood Brown is Wish.com Antonio Brown. And Antonio Brown Antonio Brown's nice, but he's coming off some shit. I've seen it firsthand. But
I don't trust Lamar Jackson for anything. Their defense is pretty.
Either.
Their defense is good. It's never not good. I mean, I don't know. I've never known the Ravens.
I love Lamar
defense.
Jackson. I think he's great. And I think even if Big Ben stays healthy, I think the Ravens run away with this division.
I'm on the Browns.
Run away.
I'm on the Browns, man.
The Browns. Think about what you're saying right now.
This ain't the same poopy Browns.
I love me
this
some
ain't the
Baker.
same Browns.
It's
I
the
love
same
me some
Browns.
Baker, man.
Last year was a fluke, man. There's no way.
We'll see. But
about
I
it.
love me some
We'll see.
Baker.
Think
AJ said it. That offense is fucking great, and that defense is pretty fucking good too. Might I add? I don't know. With Odell being healthy, I mean, if they can finally get on the same page, that's like, how are you stopping that offense?
I mean, chemistry-wise, you gotta think that they would figure it out by now, right? They've been together for several seasons, preseasons, training camps, all that jazz. You got to think that they got to figure it out. But you know what? Mike Tomlin, even when Big Ben was hurt a couple seasons ago, he's patched this shit together to keep them together. They're throwing in nobodies, Mason Rudolph coming in, winning, finding a way to win football games. So, and they got the defense, they got TJ Watt, they got some fellas.
That defense is top tier.
They got some
yeah.
fellas. So, I think the Steelers find a way to figure it out. Mike Tomlin is definitely the most experienced head coach in that whole division.
I don't know, man. I don't think the Steelers win with Slim Ben. I
We'll
don't.
see.
It's not the same.
That man crashed a motorcycle into the back of a truck and then won the Super Bowl. Like, my dude. Like, that's
But he was
shit right
built
there.
like a shit brick house at that point. Now he's like a stick. Like I don't know. I just thought
We'll see.
It's not the same
Listen,
Ben.
that's the thing about the predictions. You get to, we could revisit this later in the season, see how everything's going. Although the Steelers last year were definitely the worst undefeated team.
Oh yeah.
Past
my God,
10
yeah, we
games
saw
you've ever
that.
seen.
Oh, yeah.
They had no business being undefeated, like 11.
Well, they were
12,
11 and
whatever.
0, right?
11 and
Before they
0,
went?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so, but 11 and 0 doesn't mean you're, just because you've won some, like, sometimes the football falls in your favor. Just kind of happens sometimes. But
The schedule fell in their favor. They
hardcore.
They
played so many
They-
shitty teams.
yeah.
They played
they
every
did, they
team
did.
at the right time.
Yeah.
Well, the wrong time for them, but the right time for the Steelers.
plus,
so.
they had a lot of the delayed games last year, right? So they had a little extra rest, like playing on Tuesdays and shit, like, So, I mean, I feel you. I see where you're coming from. But
I just
love
think
we had
the Ravens. The Ravens just.
we had a whole conversation about the AFC North, and not one of us mentioned Cincinnati.
Well,
I don't
what
think
did
that's
you
on,
mention
I don't think that's
Cincinnati?
by accident.
No, I mean you have Joe Burrow coming off an ACL. You have he still doesn't have an offensive line.
Oh, so
they're literally pulling bums off the
Jamar
street. to-
Chase,
I definitely
Jamar
wanna
Chase can't
say-
catch.
I definitely want to say Joe Burrow. Same thing. I made this prediction last season, like 5 or 10 minutes before he tore his ACL. I said Joe Burrow is going to be the next Tony Romo. He's going to be hurt all the time.
He's gonna fumble a snap on a
It's
field
always
goal.
he's going to be Tony Romo. He's going to be
Well, don't wish
great.
that upon the kid. Come on.
He's going to be great because Tony Romo was really clutch too. Like he's going to have those game-winning drives.
He's just never gonna win the
but
big
he's
one.
He's never going to be able to do anything.
He's
if
going to
nobody
win
can
like
protect
one
him.
playoff game maybe.
Listen, the Cincinnati not winning in the playoffs is not a Hugh Jackson problem. That is a Cincinnati Bengals problem.
Yeah.
I don't understand what they were thinking was like I get the whole why they drafted Chase and like the connection that they had, but the guy just tore his ACL because he didn't know when to protect him. Wouldn't you
Yeah.
draft the biggest offensive lineman that was in the draft?
Listen, my dude,
I
I just
don't-
talk about football. I don't make the picks. You know
Fair.
what I'm saying?
I don't. I just they're not. If they keep thinking this way, they're going to be at the bottom of the division forever. So
Well, you know what? They got a lot of good teams ahead of them, and a lot of good teams with a lot of young talent. They got some young talent too, but who knows? Only the future will tell if they're able to keep up. But there's another division in the AFC we got to talk about. We're going to move on to the AFC South. So, Scott, I'm going to start you with this one. Who you picking? Who you going with? I know it's not the Texans, so who you going with?
I mean, I'm gonna stay with the Titans. Like so Trevor Lawrence ain't gonna do nothing in his first year. I'm not saying he's not gonna win some games, but they're not gonna make noise. That team is not that good.
No, they don't have a lot of talent.
The Colts
outside.
quarterback is made of actual glass. He's actually just a glass statue out there. That man will step
I got
off a
paper
curb.
skin and glass bones.
If he steps off a curb the wrong way, he's gonna break something. And we don't know who. Tyrod Taylor is going to end up being the starting quarterback of the Texans, and they are. I'm not saying Tyrod's a bad quarterback.
Don't hate
I'm
on
not-
T-Mobile,
I'm
my guy.
not, because
we
I-
watched T-Mobile win that game against the Bucs.
Exactly.
We've seen him.
He took the Bills. He fucked the Jets over many years. So I'm not saying he's bad, but the Titans
Not better than the Titans, Colts,
got
Jaguars.
the best
good,
running
though.
back in football. One of the greatest wide receivers to ever play football. The next greatest wide receiver to play football in A.J. Brown. They're off at who's stopping them?
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you, but I've always been a Wentz man, my guy. I believe.
Oh, I know about you.
I'm a
and Wentz.
believer.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
I'm a big Wentz guy.
you love Wentz.
I think
The glass cannon himself.
coming back, reuniting with Frank Reich over in Indianapolis. They got a nice defense, and as good as decent. I'm sorry, I'm not going to call him great because it was not a great season, but as mediocre as Phillip Rivers was, if they had a quarterback with the talent level of Carson Wentz last year, who knows? Maybe the Bucks beat the Colts in the Super Bowl instead of the Kansas City Chiefs. But I believe in the Colts. They got some young talent. I love me some Michael Pittman Jr. over in the slot, wide out slot. I love T.Y. Hilton. He's a veteran presence. He's got some good hands. He's had a little injury trouble the last several years, but the injuries, some guys have proven they could come over it. And Jonathan Taylor in the backfield, I mean, you guys seen him play last year. I didn't really know much about him in college. I'm not a big college football guy, I'll tell you straight. You know, like I pretty much learn a lot about the guys in the weeks leading up to the draft because that's when I really get into it because now they're getting into the NFL. But Jonathan Taylor showed that he can play in the NFL last year. He's got some real talent. He had over 1,000 yards, and he wasn't even the starter until Marlon Mack tore his shit. So,
But who's handing the ball off to him?
it's going to be Carson Wentz.
For how long?
Well-
That's my whole thing. Like I agree with you. The Colts got a good offense and they've got a really good defense, but
They got a stout defense.
Who is
I don't know why you're
backup?
I don't know why you're hating on Phillip Rivers because he was.
He had a good year last year, but Phillip Rivers never.
They lost that playoff game because of the refs. There was some questionable
Phillip
calls
Rivers
in that
hasn't
game.
won the big one.
I know.
He never has.
It's very
And as far as
disappointing.
right now, because he's still retired, I am not saying he won't be back this year. I know it's a distinct possibility, but he's not playing right now, and he never won the big one.
I really hope
So-
he comes back.
I mean, it would be a cool storyline, and it's definitely something we could revisit later. But
Yeah.
I mean, Marius, you know, Scott's picking the Titans. I'm picking the Colts.
I got the Colts as well.
Yeah?
I mean,
See,
yeah, I don't.
that's
But I
what I'd
really
like to
don't
hear, my
even
dude.
even with Wentz. I mean, if Wentz is in the right offense, where they were like, there was a couple years ago, he would have won MVP if he didn't tear his ACL.
He was linked up with Frank Reich at that point too. He was the offensive coordinator. So now Frank Reich is the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts.
Yep.
They're linked up. He knows his weaknesses. He knows his flaws. He also knows his strengths. And you cannot deny that when Carson Wentz stays upright, he is easily one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He definitely suffered from the piss poor piece of shit offensive line that Doug Peterson had the gall to put out in front of him last season, knowing of his injury history. So, knowing that they got a guard like Quentin Nelson, who is probably the best offensive lineman that the NFL has to offer right
Who's
now.
also hurt.
He's going to be playing too, though. Maybe not week 1, but he will be back. He's not going to be out long. They had the
Okay,
same
but
injury.
Do you hear that? That's not Stone Cold's entrance you're hearing. That's fucking Carson Wentz's leg breaking. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I just can't. I can't.
Scotty, I see where you're
I
coming from.
I can't put my
definitely
faith
hear
in
you.
that
I hear
team
you.
like that.
Hear you loud and clear, and I
This is
definitely.
definitely
would-
going to be the most boring division.
I would trust Sam Ellinger.
Can we all agree?
No.
that
The most
is gonna
boring
be the
division
most-
will be
No,
the NFC South because the Bucks are going to just
No way.
run away with it.
No.
We won't get into that right
Don't
now.
get ahead of yourself.
We won't get into that right now.
But I mean,
Titans are going to be great. Titans are going to be a fun team to watch.
I don't know.
They will. The Tannehill.
Titans
He's
were
got some
boring last
talent.
year. They were really boring last year.
They have two great wide receivers and Derrick Henry.
Oh yeah, I forgot they got Julio
Yeah,
for like a bag of chips.
buddy.
Yeah.
And they
They
got
traded him. They
some-
got him for nothing.
Listen, the most exciting time I've ever had watching the
I think they
Titans
have
was
Jared
watching
Cook too as their tight end.
Pat Mahomes just come back and destroy them in the playoffs 2 years ago.
That was
He
amazing.
had that 20-yard run up the sideline, just toe tapping into the end zone.
That was so good.
Legitimately made them look like little baby girls. But
Yeah, but even their playoff run 2 years ago, they didn't play that well. You know, they made it to the championship game, but the Patriots played like crap. It was like an all
Yeah, but they
defensive
were still playing
game.
against
I think
Tom
they
Brady.
won. They were gonna win by like a
Tampa
point.
Tom.
They were winning by like a point or two until Brady threw that pick six. That was his last pass as a Patriot, by the way.
That's my
Pick six.
favorite
Hey,
thing in the
I
world.
love it. Love it.
Listen, you're talking about the Super Bowl
As a Tom
55
Brady hater,
MVP right now.
like, love it.
Listen, you know what? I understand why
so-
people hate the guy. A lot of people said to me about Tom Brady, You know, oh, you probably thought he was a cheater. I'm like, listen, I played Tom Brady once every 4 motherfucking years. I didn't have a dog in the fight. I'm like, okay, the Bucks lose like 12 games a season. What is one game against Tom Brady every 4 years? But we could definitely go on a tangent on this forever.
You want to know something? I was so happy Tom Brady left the division. I'm like, I'm finally fucking out. Guess what division the fucking Jets are playing this year? The NFC South. That's right, boys. Tom Brady's back.
Oh, well, which reminds me, you know I'm going to be at that game January 2nd, 2022.
That's also a
Tampa Bay Buccaneers visiting the Meadowlands. The last time I was there, I got to see Geno Smith's first game.
What a glorious
Also happened
game
to be
that
Levante
was.
David's first game, and the two rookies clashed.
Ew,
He hit him
Levante
out.
David's was a rookie.
That was his first career start, my guy.
God, Gino was such ass.
All right,
That's
all
how.
right.
That's what it should. Well, yeah, that's a whole tangent I can go on.
I could talk about this forever. So we got one more AFC division to get into, and this one
That's too
It's
easy.
interesting, but it's definitely way too easy. The AFC West.
It's the
Is it a
Chiefs.
general consensus? We're all going with the Chiefs, right?
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
the Raiders. Listen, you know.
I think the Chargers will make more noise than the Raiders. Personally,
Justin Herbert's a stud. I like what I've seen from him, but it's a small sample size. He wouldn't even have started if the trainer didn't puncture T-Mobile's lung last year, which
what
is
a
fucking.
move. What a
It's like
move.
which is fucking hysterical, by the way.
Wow.
But you know,
I mean, it feels so bad for Tyrod Taylor.
oh
but,
yeah,
like,
yeah. Like he
Of
was,
course.
he's a good game managing quarterback.
What do you think
but
What do you think was like in that locker room as he was getting the injection? They were talking, and then the guy just goes, "Oh
Whoops.
shit." What do you mean, "Oh shit"? As there's a needle in his back. Like,
But look, that jump started the Justin Herbert era in Los Angeles for the Chargers, and I think we could all agree
You know,
that poor
that was
bastard
the
had to-
best thing for that franchise because he could show out. He almost took us down last year.
He played 3 Hall of Fame quarterbacks in his first 3 games, I think. Right?
Yeah, he
Was
played
it
against
first 3 games.
He played against the Bucks. I think it was his second start, and we were losing for a little bit. It had needed some Tampa Tom magic to come back and remind me what it's like to have a quarterback that doesn't throw a pick six to end a football game. To realize, be like, oh, we could be down by 2 touchdowns and still win, but no. So I mean, the Broncos, Teddy Bridgewater. He's a good quarterback. I don't think he's got what it takes to win this division over Patrick Mahomes. Travis Kelce, Mecole Hardman, of course, Tyreek Hill and the boys. Andy
Yeah.
Reid,
Yeah.
it's a
Andy Reid and the
tall
cheeseburgers.
task. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Speaking of that, I'm sorry to segue. Just that meme before the Super Bowl when it showed like a guy passed out on the floor and it said Tampa Bay chefs knowing Bruce Arians and Andy Reid are coming to town for the Super Bowl. Yo, that shit had me fucking dead. That was some funny shit. But I think we all think the Chiefs are going to win the
By the
AFC
way,
West.
it was his first 3 out of 4 because he played Patrick Mahomes, who
Of course.
we're already
it's
deciding he's a
already-
Hall of
He,
Fame.
Already.
he will be. He will be.
Then he played the Panthers and he lost. Then he played. Then he played Tom Brady. Then
Tampa
he
Tom.
played Drew Brees. So
Wow.
Yeah.
that was it for his first 3 out of 4 games.
Yeah.
But you
yeah.
know what? I don't think he's gonna end up being that good. I just don't believe in Oregon quarterbacks. Like
The soft. Well,
I just-
Marcus Mariota. Also.
But-
did
Hey, he's
show
the
that
only.
he was
I
that
think he's the
great.
only quarterback to throw a touchdown to himself. So let's give him some credit.
oh, Mariota, yeah. But you know what? You know what surprises me here is that because we have the odds up of the betting odds up here, and the Raiders are plus 1,300. The Broncos have better odds than the Raiders. Which
That's actually.
I think that's
wild.
criminal.
It doesn't really make sense. It's the first year where they're actually gonna have fans in their new stadium.
I definitely agree with you,
And
Marius.
When were
That
those
is
odds?
criminal?
When were those odds? When did you get those odds?
No, I got these
was
yesterday.
only a couple days,
I didn't
yeah.
know if they were maybe from when the Aaron Rodgers rumors were going on or something.
No.
But-
So I literally got these yesterday, and what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to keep track of it throughout the season, just because they're obviously
not?
going to shift around.
Of course.
And Vegas knows shit that we don't know. Which just
dipping
makes
their
me
hands in the
think
pudding.
like what's going on with this? Like why are like
Von Miller back maybe. That
that's-
boost the odds enough.
yeah, but still they
They
'cause
still got Bradley Chubb. They got
how
some
many
boys.
games did
got
they
a
did they
good
win
team.
like
They had a
8
decent
games?
Patrick
defense.
Surtain the second is the real deal. He will be a top 3 corner in this league
He's
going
on-
forward. Denver.
He's on Denver,
He-
and they
he
got
was
Denver's got
first
probably
round
the
pick.
best safety in the league too.
Yeah, no, their defense is good. Teddy Bridgewater being a game manager, but I still don't think any of these teams have the sheer
No, absolutely.
firepower. Hunter Renfro talking about how he's burning Jalen Ramsey in practice. It's like, my guy, do that from Derek Carr in a regular game, and then maybe we could talk. But right now, preseason scrimmages, that don't mean shit. The Chiefs are taking the AFC West. I think we're all in consensus,
no.
right?
Oh no, yeah, definitely,
100%.
definitely 100%.
I love to hear it. So now that we got all our predictions out of the AFC East, AFC North, South, and West, there's a whole nother conference we got to talk about, fellas. Let's move on to the NFC. We're going to start with the NFC East because this might be one of the most intriguing divisions. The East and West are both pretty close, I would say. I mean, all of them except the South. But we'll get into that
My
later.
brother
But
would
like,
kill me, but I gotta go with the football team here.
honestly, Scott, I am in full agreement.
I'm going
you.
with the football team as well.
Yes, baby, I love it.
I'm definitely
I
going
love
with the
it.
Team with no name. Yo, that
Even-
defense is probably top 1 or 2.
I mean, they got some talent. They got some boys.
They got Fitzmagic.
The magic is real. We have all experienced it firsthand. The magic is real. It's a thing. And actually, just I want to say to anybody listening to this. So, just a quick little thing. In order for Ryan Fitzpatrick to make the Hall of Fame, he needs to make the Pro Bowl once. Please, I don't care how bad he is this year or how good. Vote for the man. Get him in the Pro Bowl.
Is
Get
that really
that
the
man in
criteria?
Canton. That is a criteria.
That's
yes.
unreal.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
That's I mean, come on, NFL. What the
Yeah,
fuck are
what
you
is
doing?
that?
But get that man to a Pro Bowl. He really should have been on it that year with the Jets with
I-
the Eric Decker touchdown.
I just want
and
him
all
to be in
that.
the playoffs once.
That too.
He's never made the playoffs.
because he doesn't show up in those games. That's why, like, I don't
never
want
had
him
a
in the Hall of
defense
Fame.
like-
Exactly.
Never had a defense like this,
Exactly.
so-
They can bail his ass out when he throws that interception within his own 30. Instead of them
Oh,
letting
got
up
a
that
chill down my
touchdown,
spine when you said
instead
that.
of letting up those 7 points, those 6 points in the extra, they might let up 3. Or maybe, Chase Young gets through, sack, they get the ball
that
back.
guy is a
Maybe
monster.
Taylor Heineke, who we all watched almost bring the Bucks to the brink last season. Maybe Fitzpatrick doesn't play that well. These guys, listen, Dak, there's multiple questions about the injury and the
Now he's got a
his
new
health.
one.
Exactly, with the shoulder, the
Not just
ankle.
not just the ankle.
Exactly.
He's going
There's
to
a lot
fucking
of questions
baseball
with that.
people.
I don't particularly believe in a lot of those players. I mean, Zeke, he's a product of his environment. Their offensive line is nowhere near as talented as it was several years ago.
Yeah.
And their defense, Lee isn't there anymore. They've had some retirements.
Well, they did just draft a linebacker to replace.
Yeah, but you know what? Like rookies,
no, there's a lot
you
of
gotta learn
question, yeah.
exactly. Like I know the Cowboys are plus 130 and they are the favorite to win this division. I just don't see it.
The
I
Giants-
love the football team.
the
just
Giants
because I
have
love
no
saying
offensive
the
line.
football team.
Giants have no offensive line, and knockoff
Well-
dollar store Eli Manning is just not.
Well, I mean,
Not good.
I wouldn't count out the Giants just yet. I mean, Nate Solder sat out last season due to being a COVID
Didn't they
bitch.
cut him?
No. He's there.
He's still there? I
He's
thought
still
they cut
there.
him.
You never know. Maybe he returns to true form like he was in New England. They're paying the motherfucker a ton of cash.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of guap.
But like they had several offensive linemen retire in the past couple of weeks.
I know,
So
I know,
like,
but, I
what is
mean-
Joe Judge doing over there?
I mean, I do believe in Joe Judge, though. Like, he took a ragtag bunch of defenders last year, led by Jabril Peppers, and made their defense actually pretty good. They were in the top half. I know we're not really shooting for the stars here, fellas, but the top half of the league with a defense with a bunch of nobodies, realistic. Listen, they took Leonard Williams and made him into a good.
He was good on the Jets. He was good. We're
Was
just
he,
assholes.
Scott?
Yes, he
is
was.
this Jets bias?
No,
Marius?
this is absolutely not Jets bias. When we let Snacks go, I was so upset because he was good. Once we
He
let
was
him
good.
go, we could not stop the run for shit.
Yep.
So
That's the thing, because he's not a sacks guy.
but he came out last year and did great with sacks, but he also did what he normally does and he stopped the fucking run.
Yeah, and that's like his specialty is stopping the run. So,
But
you know what?
is that enough to be better than
I think I gotta
the
change my pick.
Washington football team?
I think I got to change my pick.
You going with the Eagles?
No, I'm gonna go. No, I think I'm gonna change my pick to the Giants.
Yeah, you like him that much?
You know what it is?
You're going over Fitzmagic, my dude.
Because the Washington football team won the division last year, and no team ever wins 2 years in a row. So, like, statistically, it's just...
Marys, you can't always play the numbers, my guy.
It's been like 10 years, or maybe even more than that, where
but
no team ever wins.
Streaks are meant to be broken, my dude. Look at The Undertaker. This is not a wrestling podcast, but Brock Lesnar pinned his ass at WrestleMania, my dude.
I know. I'm changing my pick to the Giants, man.
Okay, all right.
I have to do it, man.
You're still with me, right, Scott?
Oh, no, 100%
okay,
football team.
So we're going with the
But
Washington
you know
football
that.
team.
You know about this stat, right? You know how...
the one
Yeah,
team
we also
I don't-
played in a division with Tom Brady, who won the fucking division every year.
Yeah.
So, like,
Listen, fellas.
it can happen.
The one team I'm afraid to face in the playoffs is the Washington football team. Because if Heineke gets a second shot at the Bucs in the playoffs, who knows? He broke his collarbone that game. You know what I'm saying? Like, he went in.
You know, I was talking, I talked a lot of shit about some of the quarterbacks that, me not believing in Josh Allen and, me not really. I don't like Tannehill at all and not believing in Justin Herbert. But I actually believe in Dak. I don't want you guys to think that I'm just a hater.
I don't
Like
believe
all
in
these
Dak.
quarterbacks, because sometimes I'll be talking sports
I'll
with
say
someone, and they say, so who's good? Because they're like, oh, this guy sucks, this team sucks. But no, I think I like Dak a lot.
Listen, Dak's good for a third-round pick.
I think that
He
Dak
better be
is
with
like,
the money they just gave him.
and I used to not like Dak, but
I respect Dak. I know he's a hard worker. I know he puts time and effort into it. I don't believe in the guy. I do believe in the magic, though.
He had some personal
I've seen
shit
it.
go on, and then, obviously with the physical injuries. But I think when he's healthy, better than Romo. And I'm a big Romo guy. I love
You
Romo.
are.
I think
Always
Romo should
have
be in the
been.
Hall of Fame. I think Romo should be in the Hall
Whoa,
of Fame.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Never going to
whoa,
make it, I
whoa,
know.
whoa.
But I think he
Whoa,
definitely
whoa,
deserves it.
Whoa.
He's had some really good regular season moments.
He has. But maybe, hopefully, for my sake, none of those moments happened week 1 of the season. So, let's move on to the NFC North. This is an intriguing division, fellas. This is a
Yeah.
very intriguing division. But, with the disarray going on in Green Bay, the uncertainty under center over in Chicago, I like Minnesota. I like that.
Ugh.
I said it.
I want to throw up that you said that.
Listen, you know what?
That's
They got
another one.
Thielen. Justin Jefferson is a boy. He is a stud, fellas.
Kirk Cousins.
They
I
signed
like Kirk
Patrick
Cousins.
Peterson. They brought back Everson Griffin. They got some veteran presence. They got some young talent on the defensive side. I think the Vikings actually pull it off.
Kirk
this year.
Cousins
I think-
annoys the shit out of me. I
Listen,
just don't
like-
think he's
Scott,
clutch.
Scott,
I like him
I
so
just
He
don't
annoys
think
the
he's
shit out of me
clutch.
too. Listen. I don't want to hear about clutch.
But he'll throw you the worst pick. He's got Fitzpatrick tendencies. He'll throw you the worst pick at the worst fucking time.
Listen, Aaron Rodgers wants nothing to do with Green Bay, and we all know that.
But he's going to win in spite of them. Are you kidding me? This is
Spite,
this
Scott.
is the
Come
last
on.
dance, quote unquote. So
Listen, Aaron Rodgers
This
is
is-
not Michael Jordan, my dude.
I'm not saying he
Stop.
is. I'm not saying he is.
Stop.
But he's not coming back to the Packers next year.
No, of course
so
not.
this
He's
is
going
the
to be in Denver,
metaphorical
but
last
that's
dance.
fine. I get it, but
Hot take, I think he gets traded mid-season, or he sits out at some point after like week 4 or
That
5.
is a
But I don't think
scorching hot
he wouldn't
take,
do
and
that
I
to
love it.
Devontae Adams.
Huh?
He wouldn't do that to Devontae Adams.
I
Would
think
he
he would.
though?
I think
He
he
would.
would.
knowing
They're
they're
like-
not on the same team.
they're like
Aaron
best friends.
Rodgers fucking stopped talking to his own family just so he could keep fucking Olivia Munn.
I mean,
you don't think he won't cut off
I
his
do
wide
that.
receiver?
Oh yeah,
To be
100%.
fair, yeah, I
I
would do
really
that.
think.
Come on,
I don't
fellas.
think.
Come on.
I don't think that Rodgers finishes the season on the Packers, and
That is a scorching hot take, and
Yeah.
Marius, I fucking love you for it.
and you know what? And I think that the Bears are going to win the division.
Whoa!
I think that the Bears
Hold
are
on,
actually
that's
going to win
wild.
this division.
Hold on.
Obviously not
So,
with Andy
hold
Dalton.
on.
Justin Fields is coming in.
And I like Kirk Cousins. I used to hate him, especially what he did to the Jets. But you know what?
Yeah,
you
what
know
a
what? The guy
fucking
got paid.
cock.
You know what?
Scott,
you can't.
This
all
isn't even
about the
biased.
money,
You
my
can't
dude.
get at the guy.
Not even biased. I just
let
think he
him,
always
let him
should
get
have
his
been.
money. You know.
But what about guys? We're forgetting about Dan Campbell and like. The man in charge
the
of the
knee
Lions
eating. He's like,
right
we're gonna get knocked down, but we're gonna bite your knee on the way up.
Like
that man is a cannibal.
he's insane.
We're gonna waste our time talking about that.
They're gonna
Jared Goff,
through
DeAndre
somehow.
Swift. You know, they got some. No, where they're finishing.
they're fucking
I like Swift.
They will hurt people.
Let's
I like
not wait.
Swift, but then he dropped
Someone's
like
go-
every pass last year. Like literally everything.
He dropped that game-winning pass. I cannot recall exactly.
multiple.
There was one though
passes.
when he was in the end zone. It might have been against Chicago. I don't remember. Do
was
not quote me on
multiple.
that and comment on it. Be like, AJ was wrong on this. I'm not listening to your bullshit.
No, I think it was. I think it was definitely against Chicago.
I can't remember who it was, but like he dropped it and it was a clear touchdown.
Yeah.
Wide open. Just
and it was
fucking.
and it was like either on like Thanksgiving or it was on like a primetime game where it's like
It
Monday
was,
night or something
yeah.
like that or Thursday
Oh
night.
right, it was in that little corner.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. And he
Yep.
just-
Yep.
Yeah.
All he had to do was catch and walk in. And
Yeah.
that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right,
So,
all right.
yeah, the Bears, I'm telling you guys, like,
You sneak
I
through.
don't know who's going to start.
Oh, it'll be Andy Dalton in the beginning, but Justin Fields.
There's
coming.
no way.
Justin
if
Fields is
you're going to
ending
sit
the
here and
season.
tell me they're going to win that division, there's no way that the season doesn't end with Justin Fields under center. I
absolutely
don't
will,
see
yeah.
it.
No,
They
he's
will
been
get
playing
Tariq
great in
Cohen back, the
preseason.
human joystick. He will be back at one point during the season. I don't know how I feel about David Montgomery. Allen Robinson is easily one of the most underrated wide receivers in the entire
100%,
NFL. I
yeah.
think we could all agree on that.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
The guy has never had the real talent to produce and do what he does best. And
Didn't he have
legitimately-
Cutler for a little bit?
Smoking Jay.
Love that guy. You know he wanted to smoke a cigarette every time he sat on the bench.
Jay Cutler was the man.
Yo, I'm gonna cut that shit. That's a drop right there.
I
boy.
definitely miss Jay Cutler. Man.
Jay Cutler was some good times.
The good
some
old
times.
days.
Yeah. But I think we can move on to our next division, and happens to be my favorite division, the NFC South, fellas. So I think it goes without saying who I think is going to win the
Tom
division.
Brady.
Hold on, Scott.
fuck
Hold on,
Tom
Scott.
Brady.
Easy, champ. Easy.
I mean, they're
Relax.
winning. They're winning the division.
The Buccaneers have not won the division in I can't even tell you how long. I don't remember exactly when because it's been over a decade.
And it's
I've-
not happening this year either.
Marius, my dude, get the
Falcons
fuck out of
dick.
here.
Come on.
Come on.
Yo, did I say
Sam
the Falcons? I just
I
said
don't.
that
I don't
the Bucks
need.
aren't going
I
to
don't
win.
need to.
We have
need to.
the offensive talent. We now have the chemistry. We've actually had a training camp. Bruce Arians got the boys under wrap. You have Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones as your two running back tandem. And you also don't forget, you got Giovanni Bernard as your pass catching specialist on third down and all that. Tom Brady, who, just like James White, legitimately is able to dump it off to the guys just at the right time to get those timely first downs to make sure that the ball remains in your hands. You got Mike Evans, you got Chris Godwin, you got Antonio Brown, you got Rob Gronkowski, you got Cameron Brate, you got O.J. Howard. Don't let me mention that you got Shaq Barrett, JPP, Devin White, Levante David, Carlton Davis, Vita Vea. Can I keep going and name the entire starting defense for you fellas?
You can literally-
Because if I can, I will.
You probably
There is
named-
no
It's not going to make
shot
them win, though.
the Tampa
It's
Bay
not gonna make
Buccaneers
them
do
win
not
that
run
division.
away with this division because
no
the
way.
next best quarterback in this division, I know very well.
Yeah, Sam Darnold, right?
No, I mean, I do live in New York, so I do know a lot about Sam Darnold, but the quarterback in this division I know very well. Happened to be on my team for 5 years. He was our number one overall draft pick several years ago. Jameis Winston.
But he's not even the starter.
He might be.
Scott,
They didn't announce
we
it
all
yet.
saw. Listen, the
Sean
only
Payton
reason
takes Taysom Hill's dick and literally shoves it in his mouth. So like,
Sean
I don't
Payton,
know
I
what-
hope you hear this, you
I don't know
motherfucker.
what I don't know what you guys are doing. Like thinking James is going to start because it's going to be Taysom Hill because that,
Scott, we all saw what Jameis did the last preseason game.
Yeah, did you see what he did
Oh,
on
yeah,
Monday
no,
night?
I saw
had a
it,
lot
believe
of
me, I
chemistry
saw it.
with
Oh, my
Callaway.
God.
He absolutely had a lot. He had it going. Maybe LASIK Jameis post Tampa Bay is the real deal. Do we know that? No. All I know.
I mean, the league is better with Jameis starting.
Oh yeah,
by
absolutely.
far.
That's America's quarterback.
But Sean
I could
Payton
never
is an
root
offensive
for
genius.
Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston could fuck right off because you know what? You wasted 5 years of my goddamn time throwing interception after interception, fumble after fumble, terrible decision after terrible decision. I've seen the best of Jameis Winston, but I've seen the worst of Jameis Winston, and nobody has seen more worst of Jameis Winston in this fucking room than me.
I feel like
And
I've only seen the best because I'll never forget the Bears.
When you're
play.
watching Red Zone, the Bears play,
Where
yes.
he fucking ran like 40 yards back,
That is one
then
of my
ran up
all-time
and threw
favorite
that
Buccaneers
completion.
plays. But Jameis Winston is no longer a member of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He is a member of the division rival New Orleans Saints, who could fuck right off every day of the week, every week of the month, every month of the year. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Jameis, signing with the Saints, I know you're trying to get redemption. You could fuck right off, bro. I can't wait to get the feeling and know exactly what it feels like for Jameis Winston to throw a dime to the other football team. Because you know what? Every time I would see a ball in the air, I'm like, wow, that's got some zip on it. And then it would get picked off and ran back for 6 points. I am over it. I am sick and tired of it. I cannot wait for the piece of shit fucking who dat Saints fans to experience that. They all think he is the second coming.
But they won't because he's got LASIK.
Yeah. So
Is he wearing the visor, though? Because LASIK visor Jameis is something I don't have never experienced.
It doesn't exist in this world yet. Technically, this doesn't exist until maybe week 2 because again, Taysom Hill is starting.
I don't know.
I don't know what
about
you
that.
got, man. I have. I'm going to go with fantasy real quick because I have picked Drew Brees for like 6 of 10 years of me playing, and I feel like fucking. Every time there's a touchdown thrown, or thrown to, it's goddamn Taysom Hill. He's always there. He will never not be there. He just got paid a dickload of money. If you don't start him, that's just ridiculous.
Just because he's getting paid more
and
than
that's
Jameis
why
does not mean he's the starter, though.
I mean, clearly because I've already seen shit saying that Jameis is the leader in the locker room and everything. But
was he eating W's?
Sean Payton is an offensive genius, guys. We cannot disregard how much of a fucking
So
him and
Scott,
Sean
are
McVay.
you predicting the Saints to overtake the Bucks again?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
Oh no,
okay.
I'm 100% on the Bucks train.
Right. See, I love to hear
motherfucker.
that. I would love. I just honestly, I can't wait to hear Marius say it. So, tell me, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are winning the NFC South, my dude.
So first,
lay it on thick.
First, I want to say that I don't know how they got under the cap or made the money work with the
Jason
Saints.
Light is a
because
fucking.
I
thought you were
because
talking about the Bucks bringing back all 22 starters.
because the Saints were like negative 90 mil or
Breeze
some
fucked
crazy.
off. It saved him a ton of money.
No, it might even been more than that. It might have been like close to like the 200 mil
The
mark.
cap
like,
doesn't
over the
actually
pack.
exist. I just
It was
realized.
it was like so ridiculous.
Roger Goodell just
They had to do a lot of restructuring
fucking-
of contracts. I didn't think that they were going to have enough money to keep Michael Thomas. And somehow
Michael Thomas
I don't
isn't
know what they
sold on
did,
playing just yet.
but somehow they're able to make it work. I think that Jameis is gonna end up being the starter, and after seeing him
I
on
think
Monday,
he'll be the starter.
I mean, I know
It's
Marius
just-
has taken the Falcons to win the division. He's got the Matty Ice bias. He mentioned at the beginning of this podcast that he loves Matty Ice, and I've seen it, I've heard it, I've been there,
It's
I've
on
done
a
that.
fantasy trophy, for God's sakes.
It is very true, and like if anybody wants to see, just comment on this and let us know because we will send you a picture of good old poop dick Matty Ryan on the trophy. We'll get into why he's poop dick later, but Matt Ryan is the starting quarterback of the Falcons. So Marius, you really think the Falcons are going to win the NFC South, or are you going with the Saints? Because nobody's got to actually believe the Panthers are going to win this division, right?
So you know how I was saying that
They will be 1-0.
that the AFC South is going to be like the most boring division to watch. I think that this is going to be the second most interesting division.
This one.
Yeah. I honestly think that the Panthers are going to do some work. Do I think that they're going to make the playoffs? They might. They might be a game or two short. But every single team in this division
Matt
has a
Rule's
chance
nice.
to win.
I think Matt Rule's a good
I'm going to pick the Falcons because I always pick the Falcons.
Took a while to get there,
saw that
we
coming
made
from
it,
a
boys.
mile away.
We made it, boys.
I know you. I know you're just waiting for me to say that, but just honestly, the Falcons look really good. Like
Listen,
right now.
I mean,
And
That defense is so questionable.
I always watch my division
they're
rivals
healthy this year, though.
under
So,
a microscope. Russell Gage is a great wide receiver. Calvin Ridley could easily step in because he already has, because Julio has had injury problems several times over the last several
He
years.
is, he is a
drafted
clear
Kyle
number
Pitts.
He
one.
is a very good wide receiver. Matt Ryan has been there. He's done that. He knows what it takes to be a winner in the NFL. He's a former MVP.
So
We all know that. Kyle Pitts is a huge part. He's never had that big, strong, fast tight end. What's it going to bring?
Yeah,
and
Tony
you know what? And
For what, one season?
no,
How many years did he have Tony
5?
Gonzalez for?
like at least 5. Yeah.
All right, so fuck me, guys. I apologize.
You realize Matt Ryan's been in the league for like 13 years or
You
something?
know
It's
what?
actually
I don't
insane.
think about it like that
Like,
because
how
I
long
don't
he's
like
been
to
in the league.
think that I'm like in my 30s and I'm getting old and the
It's
sweet
kinda
kiss
crazy.
of death is coming
Yeah.
in another 30 to 40 years.
I just found a gray hair in my beard, like, so fuck me.
I've had them forever, Scott. Like, get with the fucking program, my guy.
I just turned 30. Fuck off.
Matt Ryan is 36.
That's
he
that
got
is
drafted.
disgusting.
Yeah.
He got drafted in 13 years. Wow, I was
Wow.
you guys were graduating high school when he got drafted.
Wow.
Yep.
Damn, son.
Yep. So, Matt Ryan's first pass was a touchdown. Like, he had Roddy White on his team. He had
Oh, that's a name right there I haven't heard in quite some time.
Yeah, man. And obviously I'm upset that they, traded away Julio for pretty much nothing. Like,
Listen, if
but-
the Falcons pull it off, good for
If-
them. But major fuck to them.
And if by week 5 or week 6 they're win one game or like have a terrible record like first half of the season, I think that it's very possible that Matt Ryan gets traded
To where?
to the Niners.
Oh, that's actually not a bad idea. Nah, because I think Rodgers would get traded. You said Rodgers would get traded. I think he'd go to the Niners before he'd go anywhere else.
I think Rodgers could get traded too. To maybe the Broncos.
Be wild to see a quarterback like that get traded midseason, though. Honestly.
What, Rodgers?
Even Matt Ryan.
Because I definitely don't think that Rodgers is happy, like, at all.
Well-
he's staying, but he doesn't really want to.
Right, but this is his last year. He's already said this is his last year. Everybody knows this is his last year there.
But
so.
I think it's
And that's
it's
why
really hard
he's gonna
to-
win in spite of them.
It's really hard to put in to like, to stay. Even just finish out your year. Think about putting your 2 weeks notice in at work. Like, do you really give a shit?
But you
those
also-
last 2 weeks.
But you can't abandon.
know?
But it's different with a football team or any sports team. You can't abandon those guys like halfway through the season. You can't just up and do that unless management trades you, which you don't have a choice. But they're not going to do that.
Yeah,
so.
but
Marius.
I got a feeling he's gonna.
By the way,
hold on, you go first. Scott.
Jameis will be the starter by the end of the season. I'm going to put.
Oh,
that out
Jameis,
there.
100%.
Taysom Hill is
we all
going
agree
to
on
start, but Jameis will be the starter at the end of the year. And if it's the reverse, I also wouldn't be surprised.
I love to
because,
hear that. But just real quick, Marius, there's no way John Lynch traded up in the draft to get a guy like Trey Lance just so they could trade for Poop Dick Matty Ice.
They might.
I mean, if anything, I could see maybe imagine like a swap, like an Aaron Rodgers for Matty Ice plus like that would be some crazy shit.
Oh no, that's not happening.
Nah,
No, Rodgers would never go to the Falcons.
he would never go to face Tom Brady twice a year. He's too much of a little bitch.
Yeah, he would. There's no reason. There would be no reason for him to want to play because it's not like because if Julio was still there, all right, maybe you could make some type of point.
Calvin Ridley's nice, my dude.
But
I've seen him pull some shit.
yeah, but do you really want to leave Devontae Adams for Calvin Ridley? And I mean,
Nah, you're right. I see you. But
yeah,
I mean,
but I would think that they would. If they suck first half of the season, I definitely see them trying to trade away Matty
Yeah.
Ice and just going for a straight rebuild.
I'd say one last note on this division. If you're going to gamble, you bet on the Panthers week 1. Because
They're playing the
Sam
Jets, right?
Darnold is going to throw for 6 touchdowns. 4 of them are going to be to Robbie Anderson.
listen,
I just want
I'll be straight
everybody
with
listening
you.
to know that.
I'll be in the airport on my way home from watching the Bucks take down the Cowgirls at their Super Bowl championship flag raising week 1 home opener. But I'll be lying to you if I wasn't going to be watching that game under a microscope because Sam Darnold getting a little revenge over the Jets who gave him, two
They
head coaches.
They gave him Adam
coordinators.
Gase. That's
Yeah.
enough. Like, Jesus Christ, they gave him
That
Adam
poor
Gase.
fucking motherfucking
Who's not even
son
who's
of a
now
bitch.
coaching high school and isn't even the head coach, which is wild. that he was coaching the Jets last year.
Wait, he's not a head coach
He's
of a high
the
school
offensive coordinator.
of a high school football team.
Yeah, oh yeah.
This man missed Thanksgiving last year to prepare for a game.
That was 2 years
against-
ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. No.
No, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, he missed Thanksgiving to prepare for a game
Against
the 0-9 Cincinnati Bengals.
Lost 22 to
my
9 or
God.
something like that.
What a fucking mess. Scott, Marius, I pity you guys.
So,
Holy shit.
and guess what? We're still paying him. Guess
Oh,
what?
that fucking blows,
You know,
dude.
Well,
I want to say we're still paying like the who was it before Gase? Oh my God.
oh God, who was it before Gase? Oh, Todd Bowles.
We're still. I think we're still
now a Super
paying
Bowl
him.
fucking champion with
Defensive
the,
coordinator.
Yeah,
Just got an extension, by the way.
he's a great defensive coordinator. Could not
Yes,
head coach.
never,
He does
no.
not. He comes from the Andy Reid school of not knowing how to. I am sorry, not Andy Reid. Bruce Arians school of not knowing how to call a fucking timeout.
Don't get me
Christ.
started. Never forget, listen, Bruce Arians is a Super Bowl winning head coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's how you know him. I know Bruce Arians as head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who took a delay a game penalty because he, quote unquote, said, our kicker is better from further away at a 20-yard kick. So he could miss as time expired against the Giants. So don't even get me started. I love the guy. He got us a championship. We are Super Bowl champions this year. But Bruce, if you're out here and you happen to listen to this, I will never, ever forgive you for that shit, you motherfucker. I remember it, and I will always remember it. Okay, but
On his deathbed.
it's just like I'm like dying, and I'm just like, somebody tell Bruce Arians I remember that penalty.
Bruce will be
What a
dead by
mess.
then. You'll just be like, Bruce.
Listen,
I'm
Bruce
coming for
Arians
you.
has actually been dead for like 11 months.
That's right.
Because
He's just a
all right,
robot,
all right, I'm just gonna go out this real quick before we move on to the one, probably the most intriguing division in the entire NFL.
Yeah,
the
it is
NFC
the
West.
most, yeah.
But before we get into that, so I have a theory.
I'm 100% with you.
And you know what? Scott's with me. I don't know if Marius ever heard me talk about this, but you know, Bruce Arians, I have a theory that he's been dead for about 11 months. Bruce Arians that you see on the football field is a automatron. Bruce Arians, if you notice, about 2 or 3 weeks into last season, he wears like a battery pack that looks like it's connected to his headset, but it's like right over his heart. Bruce Arians is dead, ladies and gentlemen. Bruce Arians is not who you think he is. He is a Super Bowl winning head coach, but he's also deceased. But let's move on, because Bruce Arians was a head coach of a team in the next division we're talking about, and that is the Arizona Cardinals. We're going to go on to our predictions for the NFC West. So I think I went with Scott last time. So Marius, I'm going to start with you. Who do you think is going to take probably the closest division in the entire NFL? Who's going to win this one, my dude? Who do you think? Who are you going with?
So I'm definitely gonna go with the Seahawks. They're plus 280 right now, which is it's just so weird how the Rams have better odds at plus 200.
They got Matt Stafford, but
and
the Seahawks got Russ, who's unlimited. I know how much Scott loves that.
God, it gives me fucking agita.
Oh, man. I remember those rumors about him going to the Jets. I'm like, yo, Scott, you feeling unlimited. Fucking love that shit. But, yo, Marius, so who you going with?
So yeah, I'm definitely going with the Seahawks.
Okay,
I think
okay.
I think it's very weird that the Niners are the favorite to win this division. Because
They got a stout defense. Like
They
that
got
defense.
porn
If
star
that
and
defense,
Jimmy.
if that defense comes back healthy, that defense is actually the best defense in the
Listen,
league. I think.
Bosa alone, losing him to the shitty Meadowlands turf last year was a huge, huge disappointment for the
Unbelievable.
49ers. I mean,
They had to play their 2 games in a row too, which was even more unbelievable.
Oh yeah, that's right. They played the Giants the
then
next
they played
week.
the Jets.
That is so fucked up. Roger Goodell, whoever you got making these, like fuck you.
I mean,
bro.
I get it for the, maybe.
Yeah, of course, but like that's fucked up. Like,
But also,
we can all agree that that's fucked
But also,
up.
fix the fucking field, guys. Come on.
Well, this is also the Meadowlands we're talking about.
Yeah.
The Jets don't
The
even want to
swamp.
put enough money into their football team, let alone the field that their football team plays on. And the Giants are too busy holding their own dicks trying to figure out who's going to be the next big signing when they're drafting garbage just so they could figure out maybe that without Eli Manning they could actually make a dent into the NFC. But I mean, Marius, you going with the Seahawks, huh?
Yeah. So
You believe in Chris Carson, huh? Think he's a good running back?
Let me ask you guys something real quick. All right. If you were to look at these 4 teams right here, and if I asked you to rank the quarterbacks 1 through 4, how would you rank the quarterbacks in this division?
That-
And also, I want to know who you think is going to win the division. But rank the QBs.
So,
Okay.
So
I'll Scott, you go first. You go first.
Russell Wilson is definitely number 1 for me. And Jimmy G is definitely at the bottom for me.
Porn star Jimmy at the bottom.
Yeah.
So what? He's last. You're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's the thing. I have a bet with my cousin going. I don't think what did the Lions finish last year? Does anybody know?
I think they won 4 games. I think.
Yeah, I think they
Was it
were
like 4 games?
4-12.
Yeah,
Don't quote me on that because I know people like to jump down your throats on the internet because they got nothing fucking better to
Let
do.
me see.
I feel
But,
like it was more than 4 games, wasn't
I
it?
could have sworn it was
No,
only 4
I don't think
games.
it was. I remember watching them
But anyway,
lose on Thanksgiving.
I have a bet with him that I think that
Oh, 5-11.
it was
Very
5-11.
close.
I don't think that the Rams are going to be any better than the Lions were last year. I felt like they're the same team. Maybe the Rams definitely have a better defense, but I don't think Stafford is good, but he had weapons on Detroit, and he has got weapons on the Rams. I just don't see how it makes the Rams that much better. I don't know.
You know
he
the Rams
had-
won a playoff game last year, right?
With Goff too, yeah. Like I don't.
And you know they beat the
and
Seahawks.
wasn't he like severely injured too?
Stafford is always hurt.
like Goff was hurt.
Oh no,
but-
Goff was
Goff was hurt in that
Yeah, I
playoff
don't think.
game.
Yeah, Goff didn't even play that game.
Yeah. So yeah, their defense will probably carry them, and Stafford will help. But also, Stafford his entire career has had the best wide receiver ever he threw to, except for 2 years, and he never finished with 10 wins. Go back and look at all those years that he had Megatron. He never really
did.
finished with 10. There was always 9 wins.
No, he won. The year that they played the Lions played the Seahawks in the first round of the playoffs. They had 10 wins that game.
I think
that
I
year.
think the bet that I have with my cousins is I don't think the Rams will have over 8 wins.
8 wins.
8
Well,
and 9, huh?
So that's so I could flip flop Kyle Murray and Stafford easily, but
All right.
I guess I'll put him at 2, Stafford and Kyle Murray at 3.
That's fair. That's fair.
but
listen,
I just don't see Stafford taking the Rams to the next level.
So with that being said, who do you think is going to win the division?
Seahawks.
Okay.
Easily.
all right. Wow. So I'm gonna be the lone man out, huh? I'm going with the least sexiest pick out of all these guys.
Yeah. Cardinals.
Yo, the Arizona Cardinals are on the
Wow.
come up, fellas. Kyler Murray, he's small, but he's elusive. He's fast. He's got some talent.
So you think he's
Christian
the best
Kirk,
QB out of these?
DeAndre Hopkins. No, I did not
If
say
DeAndre
that.
Hopkins
Okay.
I did not
Okay.
say that.
Just making
I'm
sure.
I'm going to try and believe we're in a world where COVID doesn't exist. I know it does
Okay.
exist. There's a lot of protocols. There's a lot of shit going on. I know DeAndre is not vaccinated. But we're just going to sit here and act like everything is normal. And if shit goes down, shit goes down. I'm not Nostradamus. I can't predict the future. I'm just going to go with you how I think. I'm going to come at you with what I think, plus, predictions. This is what it's all about. So I'm going with the Cardinals, fellas. Kyler Murray, he's on the come up. He's young. He's different. He's not molded like a lot of the other QBs in this division. He's elusive. Yes, he could get out of the pocket just like Russell Wilson, but he's also much faster than Russell Wilson. They got DeAndre. They got Christian Kirk. They got a nice backfield. Edmonds is a stud. He's pretty good. He could definitely move the chains. That defense, Budda Baker is one of the best defenders in the league. We could all agree with that.
Yeah, he's very good.
Budda Baker's no joke, and he's patrolling that secondary. He's coming at you. You know, they brought the veteran presence. Don't discount what J.J. Watt could do when he's healthy. You know, he's definitely towards the back end of his career, but you definitely can't sit here and say he's done until he hangs him up. So, you know, I don't believe in porn star Jimmy. Trey Lance is too young. Nick Bosa's great. I don't believe in the 49ers. Matt Stafford has had great talent around him for a lot of his career.
So,
haven't accomplished shit.
Real quick on that, I just want to let you know. So Stafford got drafted in 2006, right?
Jesus
He's
Christ.
2 years older than
Yeah.
Then poop dick Matty
Ice.
Ryan.
Wow.
So these are his records:
Okay.
3-13, 7-9. Oh, he was 0-16,
Yikes.
2-14, 6-10, 10-6.
Yeah, I told you they won 10 games.
4-12, 7-9, 11-5. Again, both lost in the first round, by the way.
Oh yeah, of course.
7-9,
Dude,
9
they got robbed. The one against the Cowboys.
It was the
You know, that's
Yeah,
called.
That was, yeah.
7-9, 9-7, 9-7, 6-10, 3-12, and then last year they won 5 games. So like he just doesn't finish. He's had talent. There's been talent there, and I don't know. That's why I don't think he's all that good.
No,
I don't know.
I think that
Doesn't change my pick.
He's definitely tough as hell. I mean, he dislocated his shoulder, popped it back in, came out
And
and
then
threw a
came
touchdown.
out and threw a touchdown. Yes, I
I-
remember that. It's one of the big time NFL films, videos.
I think he has like top 5 like strongest throwing arm, like throwing power in the league, even now.
Doesn't
Okay.
win the big ones.
Stafford. Yeah, I mean,
He's throwing a Cooper Cup and Woods. Like he's throwing a Megatron for fucking 10 years, 10
Yeah.
plus years, and he still couldn't.
he's
win.
got great
And
arm
who's in the
strength,
backfield? Darrell
accuracy,
Henderson. And
but-
now,
Sony
who just got
Michel.
traded?
Sony
Sony
Michel.
Michel.
So who did you say was? How did you rank these?
Oh, how did I
QBs?
rank the quarterback? So I said the
Yeah.
Cardinals are going to win the division, but
Obviously.
I still got. You can't discount Russell Wilson.
Okay.
He's number 1.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Kyler at number 2 just because he's still young. He's in this division now for a couple of years. He's starting to get his land legs. He's figuring out the NFL as he goes. I'm going to go with him number 2. Stafford's been in the league now. You said he was drafted, what, 2016?
No, Stafford.
No, 06.
Oh,
06.
oh yeah, no, 2006. That's
say.
right. So, yeah, no, that was like only
A little
couple
young
years ago.
there.
So, he's been in the league several years and has proved that he hasn't accomplished jack shit. So, you know, and I think we all say porn star Jimmy's at the bottom. So, and by the way, just
And he
so
might
you
not
know,
even end up starting.
Trey Lance might be the starter some point at the season. And
They might
just-
get.
I'm
They
sorry.
might get Matty Ice.
I'm sorry, he was drafted in 2009. For some reason I thought
2009. All right, so
Okay.
it's still 12 years of not winning a big game.
Yeah.
That is not a small sample size. That's 12 full NFL seasons.
But you know
Plain
what?
and simple.
You know what? He played in a tough division. You know,
Oh no,
'cause,
I'm not going to say it wasn't.
You
but
know, it's a super tough
Listen,
division.
Kyler
I-
Murray's
I
on
wanna-
the come up.
So-
I
I
definitely
have to
think he's one of the
resend
next
something.
big things.
He did not go 0-16. Just
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I could have sworn that was good
Kitna.
old no, not Kitna. It was
Joey
Orlovsky. Orlovsky,
Orlovsky.
baby. I hear him on ESPN radio all the time.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
poor bastard.
he loves Carson Wentz. I mean, actually, maybe not now, but like
I also like
last
things made
year.
out of glass, but
Last year he was fucking just he was sucking Wentz's dick like every morning. Every morning he was just like, yeah, but look, he did this. Look at this play. Yeah, Carson Wentz is so good. It's like, come on, man. But yeah, that division is going to be super.
That's the best
super
division in
interesting.
football right now.
It's going to be super interesting. They're going to
Ye-
beat up on each other. I
Yeah,
feel
it's
like.
gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Definitely one of the divisions I'm gonna be watching pretty close outside of the
I have to
NFC
talk to my
South.
cousin. I forgot what we actually bet like monetary.
Well,
bet.
Scott, make sure you get back to us next week because we want to know how much
Yeah.
money you're gonna lose.
8 wins is it's right in the middle there. So
It
I don't
is,
know.
it is,
Listen,
it is.
In a tough division.
I just like to
They
say you
shocked
lose
me
just
winning
because.
that playoff game last year. I could
Rams?
not believe it.
their defense is fucking great. That's
Yeah,
the
Aaron
only
Donald is,
And that's the only
one
reason
of the
I
best
could see-
defensive players we'll see in our entire lives. Plain and simple. You know, so you can't discount that. But fuck Sean McVay. Fuck the Rams.
He's also an offensive genius, guys. Yeah, I know. I fucking hate when announcers go, "Oh, he's an offensive genius." Yeah, well, why? Because he switches the running backs out every now and then. You're fucking my
Get the
fantasy
fuck
team,
out.
asshole.
Yeah, you fucking prick. All right. Well, now that we got all our divisions, we're gonna move on to individual awards. So, starting first, we got to get into the big one. MVP of the entire league. So, I think I went with Marius last, so I'm going to start this one off, fellas. So, legitimately, when it comes to the NFL MVP, there's one player that I think is really going to take it to the next level this year. That's Josh Allen. That boy can play. That boy can throw. And I think 2021 is going to be the Josh Allen show. I think that he's going to take over. He's got Stephon Diggs. He's got Cole Beasley. He's got some good talent on his offense. He's now got some chemistry with a lot of the boys. I think he takes it to the next level.
It's gonna be wild to see them feed off the crowd in Buffalo.
Definitely, because after not seeing last year with all the empty stadiums or next to empty stadiums,
I hope like his pregame, he just watches them jump through flaming.
I just
tables.
hope he doesn't eat a W because we all know how that goes for quarterbacks.
What do you mean? It goes so well.
I'm pretty sure Jameis threw 3 picks that game, so I don't even want to get into that.
Didn't he do that? Didn't he do that last year?
No.
Did he do that in the locker room?
No.
I could have sworn.
Oh yeah, no.
They were dancing in the locker room.
After the Saints blew out the Bucks, which did happen in the regular season, but the Saints being the Saints like to choke in the postseason, so that's how the Bucks made it to the Super Bowl. But after the Saints really embarrassed the Buccaneers on primetime football, there was an interview with I believe it was Drew Brees, and Jameis came around and he did the little ha on the W. That fucking prick. It's like, yeah, real funny. You're a backup. You're the third. At that point, he was the third string quarterback. But we'll see what this year brings. But I think Josh Allen's going to be the MVP this year. I think he takes it to the next level. I know Pat Mahomes is pretty much the sexy pick, but you know what? Injuries happen. I'm not saying he's going to get injured. But I think Josh Allen does it this year. So, Scott, who do you think is going to be the MVP?
I'm going to stick with my boy in his last dance here. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to run through the fucking league.
Oh, wow.
I think he's going to retain his title.
Back to back, huh?
I think he's going to he is going to make it such a point to Green Bay this year to go, you're really letting me go? You're really going to let this happen? All right. I'm going to show you what you're fucking missing. So, he's going to run through it.
I could see it. I mean, he'll get as far as the NFC Championship because, there's
But you don't need to win the Super Bowl to be
Southwestern Florida.
You don't need to win the Super Bowl to win the MVP.
That is
I do think to stick it to them though, he will win the Super Bowl this year.
Wouldn't that be something?
I honestly want it to happen so bad because have you seen him just in preseason just not giving a fuck?
He got gifted so nonchalant.
He got gifted like a decked out fucking golf cart by his teammates and shit like that. He just doesn't care.
Do you think there's any way that because of his teammates they convince him to stay in Green Bay?
Probably. I mean, he's probably doing it for the team.
I wouldn't rule it out.
Why wouldn't you do it for your teammates?
I think he's there because he's played with David Bakhtiari. He's played
Devontae Adams.
They brought back Randall Cobb just basically
Aaron Jones.
To shut
he got them
the fuck up. Exactly.
So I really think he's gonna stick it to. He's just doing it to stick it to Green Bay. So
and I kind of like that.
I don't think the only thing that you could get him is if you draft him.
They haven't drafted position player
trade for some weapons
since 1993. I want to say.
Yeah, I think Scott's accurate on that.
A first round position player, they haven't drafted since 1993.
They could have made him happy if they just would have gotten him Julio.
Yeah.
Imagine they just got him Julio.
I remember reading that was a possibility too.
If they would have just done that, it would have been.
Please do not trade
perfect.
Julio within the NFC. Please.
It would have been. Who if they just got it's just someone like that. They got him Julio. He'd be fine, and I don't think that this would be an issue. But honestly, I don't think he's gonna end up finishing the season with them.
All right.
Really
Imagine he doesn't finish the season with the Packers, but still wins MVP. Wouldn't that be wild?
Wow.
That would be he wouldn't be. It would have to be late into the season because there's no way the Packers front office is stupid enough to trade him within the NFC. So he'd have to go to an AFC team, but possibly have the stats enough to win MVP in the NFC.
Does he have? I feel
Would
like
that
Rodgers.
even be possible?
But I feel like Rodgers has control.
Someone get
over,
Goodell on the line.
Rodgers has control
work?
of where he goes in his contract.
He does. He does.
He may just be like, no, you're not. I'm not letting you get shit for me.
I mean, good.
I don't
for
know
him.
if he's that spiteful of a person, but he seems like it right now.
I mean, but he didn't talk to his family because he was fucking Olivia Munn. I mean, I could see that happening.
so
You never know. So, yo, Marius, we haven't heard from you yet. Who's MVP, my guy?
Matty Ice.
He's gonna take his second MVP, huh? We're going with Matty Ice.
No, I'm not gonna.
he wants to so bad.
I
though.
really would love to.
I know.
I really would, but no, I think it's gonna. I think Russell Wilson's finally gonna get one.
Yeah, you think he breaks that hump? He gets through.
Yeah, I mean he should have. He should have won. What was it? I don't think it was last year. It
I
was
think
either
it was-
last year or the year before
I
that.
think it was 2 years ago. He had
Yeah.
an unbelievable year and he
Yeah.
didn't win.
Yeah, but it's like he deserves it. You know, like
He does, but he also has to play well enough this season to earn it.
He's
you know?
always made it work, even with a bad O line, even with no running back. You know, like take a team like the Giants, for example. You know, their O line has been trash for years.
Yeah.
And it was always like, even Eli's last couple of years, it was always, well, the O line sucks. They don't have a running back, and that's why they can't win games.
Yeah,
But Russell
you're-
Wilson's been doing that for years, and I don't think he gets the respect that he deserves.
I mean, I think he's well respected, but he just doesn't have the accolades. You know, I definitely think he was definitely in the conversation for MVP several times.
What is
It
Maybe
the
because
just
he's
saying?
never
short.
quite happened. Yeah.
What's the saying? Let Russ cook. Are they finally going to let him cook?
Listen,
this year?
Scott.
Oh,
remember,
I
Scott.
really-
Russ
I really hope
is
they let him fucking cook.
unlimited.
I'm gonna leave.
All right, so yo, Marius, you and I are gonna have to finish this up because Scott's not unlimited.
No,
enough.
I really think Russell Wilson. Let's hope that
That's
that
fair.
he-
That's
he,
fair.
He gets it. Maybe because he's short.
All right, so now moving on, I think we should get into comeback player of the year because this is always a fun one. I mean, last year everybody knew Alex Smith after basically almost losing his leg. I've seen pictures of his fucking shin bone
yeah, no, that was
showing
nasty.
out. Like, I mean, that is super not safe for work. So if you want to Google it, make sure if you're listening to this shit that you do it on your own time. But like Alex Smith's leg was like open. His bone was out. That shit was rotted away. He's lucky to be alive. And
Yep.
I definitely am a firm believer that they should rename the trophy to the Alex Smith
Comeback
Player of the Year
I would agree
award.
with that.
I think we could all be in general
I
consensus
don't know how
about
he
that.
feels about that, but
Listen, he's alive. He's lucky to be alive. The shit he went through. So
And he played decent last year too.
he did. He basically won them games that got them to the play. They played in the play. He got hurt right before the playoff game, but he got them to the playoffs, which is got to be well respected. I mean, that's a huge thing.
Yeah,
But,
is he on a team right now? No, right?
He retired.
retired,
He's
yeah.
actually
Oh, he
signed
did
with ESPN.
retire.
He's going to be an analyst.
Wow.
Yeah, he's pulling that shit.
I never liked Alex Smith when he was a Niner, especially early on. He would because he was a top pick. He might have even been
He
first
was number
overall.
one. I'm pretty
And-
sure he was number one
and
overall.
for his first 4 years, I want to say he was
Very
trash.
pedestrian.
there's also a bad Niners team.
He was trash.
They had
like-
Vernon Davis. I'm pretty sure that's
That's
the
it.
only person who's
That's
throwing
it.
to.
Vernon Davis.
No, he was really bad, but then I started liking him as soon as he went to the Chiefs, and he played
He
very
played
well
good at
over
the end
there.
of his Niners career, though.
He was very good. I mean, he got benched a game before the Super Bowl.
For Colin Kaepernick.
No, it was before the playoffs. I'm sorry, not before the Super
I was
Bowl.
gonna say.
But yeah, that's when Cap came in and he took over and the whole pistol formation and yada yada, et cetera, took over the league and
Oh no, he played very well in the playoffs. He had
he
some,
did. He did. No, yeah, he
he had
definitely
some
did.
good games in the playoffs.
But,
he had that game against the Saints. Where it was ridiculous, where he had like that 30-yard run.
I do remember
It was
that.
in the first round, I want to say. That
Just another instance where the Saints choke in the playoffs.
oh
We're
my
all
God.
used to that.
It was such a good game. So if anybody ever wants to see those, check out those highlights. It's a great game. You did not know who was going to win. That fourth quarter was ridiculous.
It was.
So-
I do remember that fondly because the
Yeah.
Bucks don't make the playoffs often. But so as far as comeback player of the year, I think I started with Scott last time, so yo, Marius, who do you got?
I'm gonna
Who's
go
gonna
with
be
Cam
comeback
Newton.
player? Cam Newton.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
I think.
You think he does it?
I
You think he
think.
comes back
I
strong?
really think. I mean, I don't think he's ever gonna be MVP Cam Newton, and like.
But MVP Cam doesn't need to not be Super Cam. You think Super Cam, you know? He
Yeah, I
does
think
a little
yeah.
shirt pull thing.
I think he'll be back to Super Cam.
Okay.
I think Belichick's going to get the best out of him, and as long as he could stay healthy. He had a lot of issues last year with injuries. Then he got COVID, and then the way it felt with a lot of these football players that ended up getting COVID last year. They just weren't the same.
It
after
seems
they
like that's
came
a
back.
general thing that happened. A couple of the
know?
basketball players too that
Yeah.
caught the Rona, they weren't quite the same after they came back from it.
Yeah.
And you don't know what this fucking virus long-term effects are, and I obviously
Exactly.
wish everybody well, but like that is definitely a talking point you have to talk about because Cam Newton, before he missed time due to COVID, was definitely playing at a high level. I wouldn't say MVP elite level,
Of
but he
course
was
not.
definitely playing at a level that was substantially higher than he was in his last several games playing in Carolina.
Would you say that if he didn't get COVID, the Patriots would have ended up making the playoffs last year?
I don't know about that.
honestly, Marius, I'm going to say yes. I would
I
definitely
don't
say
think
yes.
I don't
so,
think
too.
that team was good enough to make the playoffs.
I would never ever. Well, I know that they didn't. They lost a lot. A lot of guys sat out due to COVID.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys on defense,
which are
though.
coming back this year. So I'm not ready to write them off yet. I'm not ready to write Cam Newton off yet. He's definitely got talent. I definitely think COVID affected him. So I mean, Scott. All right. So you don't think COVID?
I don't think he's going to finish the year as the starting quarterback.
You think Mac Jones ever will begin in 2021?
I think the Jets are going to knock Cam out, and the new Tom Brady's going to be born.
I'm not a fan of
Wow,
Mac
wouldn't that be
Jones.
so apropos? Holy shnikey.
I mean, I've seen this movie
Yeah,
play,
Bledsoe got
so,
hurt
yeah.
against the Jets, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
We started Tom Brady, so we're going to start the new Tom Brady.
Holy shit.
I don't know, man.
Scott, fuck.
I don't know. Have you seen Mac Jones in college? Like,
He's very mediocre, but
so was
Yeah.
so
Tom
was
Brady.
Brady at Michigan.
but he had
And now he's got Belichick.
he had the
That's the
Heisman winner on
thing.
his team too. So it's like
Yeah,
he was
but-
throwing to the Heisman winner. I mean,
Who was not a very large man.
wait, I think he's like 6'5".
He's fucking just 6 foot, I think.
Yeah, no, he definitely was not
He's
6'5".
not- he's definitely not 6'5",
Really?
yeah. So
Maybe
I don't
I
know.
don't
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm not saying it can't
think
happen.
Mac Jones is the next Tom
Oh
Brady.
no, he's
but
exactly 6 foot.
Yeah,
You guys
I don't. I don't
Okay.
think. I mean, Cam could do that, but I also. I don't know. I just Belichick does these things for a reason. So I think that Mac Jones is going to be the
Yeah.
next.
Well,
Tom Brady.
who's going
And
to be
he's-
comeback player of the year though, Scott? Like that was the question.
Oh, Dak
Like,
Prescott.
Dak? Oh, you
mean-
think he comes back? Now,
feel
do you
like
think
that's
he
the
wins
easy
week
one.
one? Because
Okay,
I want to
then
know
I'll,
like
I'll,
if I'm
I
going to
can
see the Bucks lose.
I'll go with
again.
Bosa at that point then.
Okay.
The Niner
Okay.
Bosa.
Okay.
No, I'll let you keep your pick. I'm just saying that was,
I mean, yeah.
obviously, that's the
I'll take-
obvious one, just like Alex Smith was last year.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
to be fair, we didn't know if Alex Smith was going to get into a game though.
Yeah.
That is very true. You
This
saw his
one, you
wife
know-
bawl real tears when he finally made his way back into a live football game.
Yeah.
Which is definitely a very
Well-
one of the most emotional moments anybody as a human could feel as a avid football fanatic, because after seeing what he went through, bone poking through the skin, infections, possibly losing his leg, almost dying,
Yeah. Yeah.
coming back and playing football, and not just playing football, but playing football at a high level.
Yep, he was winning games. Yeah.
Alex Smith, comeback player of the year. Who's winning it, Scott? Oh, never mind. You said it's going to be Dak.
Yeah,
Dak,
I mean,
yep.
I could go Christian McCaffrey. I could go Nick Bosa. I could go, I mean Joey Bosa, right? Joey Bosa.
Joey. No, it was.
Who's on the Niners? I can't.
No, Joey Bosa was no. He's
It's
Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa.
Yeah, you're thinking
Bosa.
of Nick
There's a
Bosa.
fucking
lot.
Bosa's
Yeah,
guys.
no.
Like fuck.
But I mean,
Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley. Like, there's a lot you could throw out there. But
at
I mean,
Von Miller.
if the fucking the Cowboys get into the playoffs, it's obviously going to be Dak.
No. Listen,
It
I'm
could be
gonna go
fucking
with
Michael Thomas. Oh, fucking Odell.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Odell's a
Listen,
good one, too.
I got the probably one of the least sexy picks for this year. And you guys are Jet fans, so you're gonna love this.
Do you know how many games he's played in 2 years?
Hold on, Scott. Let me get to this. C.J. Mosley, before he got hurt, that Jet team,
Oh, I know.
he sat out last year due to COVID, which should mean he's fully healthy. You don't know what kind of underlying injuries that C.J. Mosley has had when he played for Baltimore.
He's got a groin made out of
when he
paper.
came to the New York Jets. C.J. Mosley, when he played those first three quarters for the Jets? Whatever it was, that man had a command of that defense. He made a quarterback like Josh Allen, who, mind you, I predicted is going to win the MVP this season. Made him look like a child. Doesn't matter. I think C.J. Mosley, listen, you guys should be happy about this shit.
Oh, I'm not. I'm very happy.
C.J. Mosley comes back this year.
If
he comes
can
back
stay
healthy. And he comes back with a vengeance. He comes back ready to play. He's had a whole year off, almost 2 years off. To get healthy. I think C.J. Mosley is a surprise pick. I think he absolutely balls out for the New York Jets.
That defense is so weak, though.
Yeah.
Well, you guys lost some big guys to injuries and everything.
But like even the secondary is so young and stuff. Like he's gonna get his. I mean, if he comes back and he's sacking and he's making tackles,
I believe that
great,
C.J. Mosley is a good enough defender to make a real difference on a defense that is relatively young. And listen, I know you guys have heard me talk about this in the past already, and I'm just going to reiterate it to you guys. I am a big-time Robert Saleh guy. I love him. That pick as a head coaching position. I definitely think he's got what it takes to be a real success in the NFL. I love his style. I think his attitude is A-OK just to last in the Big Apple and deal with the media and everything. I love it. And I think C.J. Mosley definitely wins comeback player of the year because he's going to blow the doors out of. I don't believe in Odell. I think he's trash. I really do. I'm going to fucking say it. The best wide receiver from that draft class was your boy Mike Evans, but we could talk about that later. Cam Newton, there's a chance that he is not as good as he used to be. Maybe he does fall off, loses his job to Mac Jones. There's plenty of players. Dak Prescott, maybe he gets hurt again. He's already dealing with these shoulder injuries, these shoulder issues in preseason and all that. Don't even know if he's going to even be available to start week 1. So for me, I think C.J. Mosley on the defensive side of the ball is going to be the real deal. Maybe not good enough to win Defensive Player of the Year, but definitely good enough to win Comeback Player of the Year.
If you had to look up like hype in the dictionary, you'd see Robert Saleh's face. I love that man so much. I said that last year when every time I watched the Niners play, he was out in the field high-fiving, chest bumping, screaming at the top of his lungs. I'm like, dude, this is the best coach ever. I wish he was my coach. And it happened. So I couldn't be happier.
Need that.
Yeah.
When he first became a big-time candidate for a head coaching position, I remember saying to myself, whoever signs that man will be a success. And he signed with the Jets. He will be a success. Zach Wilson is very good. I believe in him. Also, don't have to play him very much, so I get to admire him from afar. I think the Jets are up and coming. They definitely got some talent. They got to get their shit together. And I think Robert Saleh is the guy to get their shit together. So I definitely believe in C.J. Mosley being comeback player.
It's so funny, too, because the Jets do nothing but draft defensive players, and they have nobody on defense. It's unreal.
That is pretty sad. But they haven't had guys sustained good enough to be re-signed when they're at a position where they're winning.
Fair.
So it's like, why are you going to spend money on bringing Leonard Williams back when you don't have a future? What do you have to build for? A good pass rusher is nice. It's sexy, but
Jamarcus, Jamal Adams. I mean, Marcus May is going to do the same thing.
Marcus May is very good. I wouldn't discount him at all. But moving on, I think we should get into a detrimental point of this because not all records for a season are great. So I'm going to start with this one. We're going to go and talk about who we think is going to throw the most interceptions this season. And as a Buccaneers fan, There's a former Buccaneers quarterback who might be the starting quarterback in the New Orleans Saints, who, for me, there's absolutely, positively no way he does not lead the league in interceptions. And that man is America's quarterback, Mr. Jameis Winston.
I mean, I see it. I could easily see it.
So you agree? You think he throws the most interceptions this year?
I don't think he'll throw the most interceptions because I don't think he's not going to start every game. So I don't think he'll have enough time to go out there and throw. But I've been surprised before, but who knows?
I think it's going to be Fitz. I think it's going to be
the Magic.
Fitzpatrick.
You think the Magic's up?
Yeah, because I think that even though he's going to throw all those picks, they won't bench him. So I feel like he'll play the whole year.
You really
and just
think they
keep
would
throwing
not
picks.
start Heineke after breaking his collarbone against the Buccaneers in the playoffs? If Fitz is shitting the bed, you don't think that an experienced quarterback, experienced head coach like Ron Rivera is going to pull the trigger and go with a young guy who had some success in big money time to see if he could recreate that magic during the regular season?
No, they got Fitz for a reason. He's gonna stay. He's gonna play. He's gonna play
Old,
most
reliable.
of the year, and he's gonna average like probably 2.3 picks a game or something stupid like that.
I could see that too.
Because that's what he does.
I mean,
He has his highs and he has his lows, but there's a lot more highs.
Listen,
His
as-
lows usually start like after week 8. When the games start mattering more, he plays worse.
listen, that's a 2 former Tampa Bay Buccaneer quarterbacks that we're talking about here. So it just goes to show you how bad the whole turnover ratio has been the last several years for a team like that.
Yeah.
So,
I do think that one of these rookies are going to be.
yeah, I can see
And
that too.
if I had to say it, I'll say Trevor Lawrence. I never thought his deep ball accuracy was that great to begin with.
Yeah.
He does
he's-
these little dump off things and
Yeah.
he'll throw the.
He
slants
hasn't
and
looked
stuff
good in
like-
preseason
He hasn't
at all.
looked good at all.
Gardner Minshew's
Oh.
been outplaying his
Yeah,
ass in preseason. But how do you not start your number 1 overall pick?
No, you have to.
You have
But
to.
I can't. His team around him is mediocre.
Well, that's the thing too. He doesn't.
What, they signed Marvin Jones? Like, he's nice, right?
Yeah, that's the thing too. He really doesn't have any weapons. So
I mean, the Titans have a halfway decent defense, and the Colts have a great defense. They're gonna get. He's gonna get bombarded. He's gonna have a rude awakening, and I think
He's
gonna
got some men as head coaches that
actually-
have a lot of experience
actually,
that are going to
I'll
be ready to throw a bunch of wacky shit his way.
I'll even throw Joe Burrow into that mix too, because he's gonna have some fears coming off that ACL. So
Very true. You cannot discount that. Like, after basically hyperextending your knee enough that your ligament rips in half.
yeah.
So, no, that's definitely a fair assessment right there. Definitely a fair assessment. But, there's also Defensive Player of the Year. Marius, who do you think is going to take this one as an individual award for 2021?
So I think that Myles Garrett is
You
is
think
gonna
Myles
come
Garrett's
back.
going to take it?
Yeah, I mean, people forget because obviously he he was suspended and he didn't play.
He beat a man over the head with a helmet.
People forget about how good he actually is.
He is a very good
This guy's a
defensive player.
beast. I mean, the only person that I think is a better player than him is Aaron Donald. I think he's a close number 2.
See, I beg to differ there, and I might be showing my bias here, but I think this year is the first chance that everybody gets to really witness the greatness that is Devin White. Devin White came into the league. He is taking it by storm. He is easily one of the most talented, fastest linebackers in the entire league. I think he takes Defensive Player of the Year this year because having the help of a Shaq Barrett, a Vita Vea, a Levante David, Joe Tryon, who they just drafted in this draft this year, has shown that he could easily get to the quarterback. Somebody like Devin White is going to benefit from that tenfold. Plus, you got Todd Bowles, the defensive genius, over as the defensive coordinator that's going to make sure that Devin White will always be in the right place at the right time. So For me, maybe I'm showing a little bit of bias here, but I don't think there's any way that Devin White doesn't win Defensive Player of the Year. I think he's got it on lock, personally. What do you think, Scott?
I don't think there's any question that Aaron Donald's going to win. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'll take. I mean,
I
I'll
wanna
take
take the easy.
It's the easy way out again, but
Yeah.
like, I could sit here and bullshit my way through some of these defensive players, but like we all know in the end that Aaron Donald's going to rip through offensive linemen and destroy quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Like,
the
it's
guy's
not-
such a beast.
It's
like,
not. He's not human.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
He's
So-
definitely on a whole nother
He definitely
level.
is a
I can tell you,
running freak show.
Joey Bosa and Nick Bosa, they're both going to have great years. Who's the guy on the Bears? Not Khalil Mack, but the other guy that they drafted a couple of years ago. He'll have a great season too, probably. I mean, there's a lot of great defense players, but no one's better than Aaron Donald. Like, it's
I mean, Aaron Donald has shown time and time again that he is easily one of the most talented players that
And if
we
I had to do a
will ever
runner-up-
see in our entire life.
But if I have to do a runner-up, it'll be T.J. Watt.
Okay.
So-
T.J. Watt over in Pittsburgh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I
You know
see.
what? And we didn't mention Chase Young. Chase, I
Ooh,
think
that's I didn't think about that either.
That's
yeah.
a good pick, but I wouldn't quite get there yet. There's a lot of players that I think, like being lost on a team like the Washington football team. I don't know if it really gets there, and guys like Devin White who have shown with an interception in the Super Bowl last year that they're ready to take the next step. Myles Garrett, who will not hesitate to beat you over your head with your own helmet.
yeah.
And I mean, Aaron Donald, who's the most talented defenseman we'll probably see in our lifetimes. So it's only time will tell. Legitimately.
You know what? Let me just ask you guys a question. What do you think about Von Miller? Where does Von Miller get?
Von Miller's getting up there.
get into this conversation. I mean,
I
he's
don't know
only
if
30.
defensive
He's
play-
only 32.
But I don't know if defensive. I don't know
32
anymore.
is old as fucking
Yeah.
dirt in the NFL if
Yeah.
you're not a quarterback. And I hate
And
to
he's
say
been
it
hurt,
because
and he'll have a good.
But the way he takes
year.
care of his body, though,
He'll probably have a good year, but I don't know.
I mean-
Defensive Player of the Year.
taking care of his body.
I just want to say
Isn't that picture of him online rolling face in the middle of the club, like half fucked up, all passed out and shit. Like,
That is
yeah.
a wild picture.
But
I mean, listen, I'm not gonna.
no, they did an interview with him, and he just went over just everything that he his pretty much like his routine during the season. Obviously he has his moments, in the off season, I guess, where he likes to have his fun, but overall, he's even though he was hurt, he kept himself in shape. The whole time last year.
I just don't think he's Defensive Player of the Year with all the young guys out
I definitely
there.
think he gets back to his own form, but not
Nothing
quite
what he
better
was.
to
Oh,
beat
no,
out.
yeah,
Yeah.
He's still good.
I just wanted to throw it out there.
Of course,
he
of course.
Was, don't sleep on him.
That's fine. Well, let's get into something a little fun real quick too. So, Scott, who do you think is going to, out of all the starting quarterbacks we have in the league this year, who do you think is going to get benched first? Because it happens every year. Somebody shits the bed and somebody gets replaced. Who do you think is going to be the first one?
So it's either going to be the combination of Jameis and Taysom Hill, or
Of course.
or Andy Dalton.
I could definitely see where you're coming from with that. I mean, but you know what? Like the Bears, they love them some Andy Dalton, my dude. Like,
Yeah, but he's not going to be the starter for the entire
No. But I don't think he's the first to go down because, when it comes to the schedule and everything, who do the Bears play in week 1? I don't think it quite happens right off the bat. But regardless, I think it's going to be Teddy Bridgewater. I definitely think he's the first
For
one.
Drew
to-
Lock, though?
So
Listen, Drew Lock has easily had, Vic Fangio is definitely taking Teddy Bridgewater because he's the safe pick. Doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. Can dump the ball off at short ranges to wide receivers to get some first downs. He's not quite the sexy pick, but if you've watched Drew Lock this season, Drew Lock has actually opened some eyes. Like, he looks pretty damn good. And a guy like Vic Fangio, if he has any inclination that he might have a chance at landing Aaron Rodgers last year, you got to make sure you keep your job, and you got to make sure that you don't get fired. So if Teddy Bridgewater doesn't quite flash and show you the way to begin the season, I definitely think, and the Broncos open up against the Giants, by the way, I think we see Drew Lock a lot sooner than you would believe. What do you think, Marius? Who do you think's going?
I actually think the opposite. Oh, I was thinking that Drew Lock was gonna get benched for Teddy Bridgewater, but it looks like he's
No,
gonna
you got
be
an
the
answer.
Yeah,
starter.
They announced
Oh, this
Teddy
happened
Bridgewater
today.
as the starter just today. Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which is crazy because Drew Lock's been killing it in the preseason.
I mean, I don't like Drew Lock at all. I'm not a fan of him at all. I think he's definitely like bottom tier quarterback.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
In the whole league. I guess I'll go with Andy Dalton.
It's gotta be. Like there's no way that you can keep Justin Fields off the field for that long. Like
No, yeah, I mean he's been playing really well in preseason.
they got a good team. They got enough to make a run in that division.
Yeah, like I said, I think that they're actually gonna end up winning that division. So I'm definitely gonna have to go with. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go with that. With Andy Dalton getting benched first, and then, and by the way, I like Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know about you.
I wish he would have played for the Jets a little longer. I probably would have liked them better.
Yeah, I think the Jets should have kept him. I definitely loved him. In Louisville. I loved him in college. He was great. I don't know why you have all this hate for Teddy Bridgewater.
I don't hate Teddy Bridgewater. I don't hate him. I just don't think he's going to be the starter very long. I think Drew Lock's got too much talent. Cortland Sutton's a stud.
I think
Timmy
Drew Lock
Toe
is
Taps,
trash.
Tim Patrick doesn't drop passes. I just don't think that with the defense that Denver has, like if they have any inclination to trying to compete this year and actually go for it and not just dick around at the mid card of the AFC, I think you got to go with Drew Lock. Listen, shape up and show me your balls, Vic Fangio. Show me that you got the balls to put a guy like Drew Lock in and prove to you, guy's been working around Peyton Manning in the offseason, and Peyton Manning won you a Super Bowl and took you to 2 Super Bowls. So what do you got to lose? Just fucking go for it, because Teddy Bridgewater is such a fucking boring pick, and I hate it. So for me, I definitely think that Drew Lock should be the guy, honestly.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with the Niners either, because I think Jimmy G's the starter.
Porn star Jimmy.
But I don't know what's gonna end up happening with that. They drafted this guy Lance, early. So
you don't just spend the 3rd overall pick and trade up for it.
That's what
for
I'm
a guy
saying.
that you don't expect to use. I mean, at least at some point. But you can't discount what porn star Jimmy has done. Their record when he starts football games is very, very good. And porn star Jimmy, besides taking out porn stars for dinner, also took the San Francisco 49ers out to the Super Bowl.
Couldn't make the throw though.
Yeah.
He couldn't, and he didn't. But listen, there is plenty of other teams in the NFC that did not make the Super Bowl over porn star Jimmy. So,
yeah, how crazy is it to think that, that they that Mahomes could have not had a ring if it was just if he just made that pass.
Isn't that crazy? It's insane, right?
Think about how good Mahomes has been. He's literally been dominating the league.
He lost to Tom Brady in the playoffs not once, but twice. So,
he's
he's
been
got
dominating the league.
Listen,
though.
even
And he wouldn't have
Superman's
a
got
ring
his kryptonite, my
if
guy.
If it wasn't for that miss.
Yeah.
So
Insane. But I think we just got one last thing to cover before we cut out this evening. And it's going to be Offensive Rookie of the Year for the NFL. So, Marius, who do you got for this one? as a preseason prediction?
Oh, definitely Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah?
Nah, 100%. He hasn't looked great in preseason, but overall, I definitely believe in him. He gets it to his second and third read. He hasn't really been showing it, like I said, in preseason, but just going off all the tape from college, he definitely, his mechanics are great. He has a high football IQ, and I think he's going to be really good in this league. Playing for Clemson and beating teams like Alabama and in the college playoff,
I see you.
It's wild to me because I hate the way he throws. I
I
hate
see-
it.
I do too.
He doesn't throw a good deep
It's
ball.
weird,
Or at least
like-
any time I've ever seen him throw.
It's definitely very bizarre. It's
it
definitely
doesn't look
unorthodox.
accurate.
But Trevor Lawrence, I definitely feel like that he will be maybe not elite, but in the higher echelon, tier 1, tier A, whatever you want to fucking call it. Once time moves on, will he be one of the top 10 in the league? Yeah, I think he definitely has the potential to do that. But I think as far as Offensive Rookie of the Year this year, I don't think he quite has the talent around him to support that to happen. I just don't see it. I mean, losing, their Travis Etienne or
They
however
still
they
have a very
pronounce
good
his
running
name.
back, though, in James
Robinson
so.
is very, very good, but he doesn't have the same.
No, yeah,
chemistry.
losing him was huge.
That's a big miss. And who are your wide receivers? DJ Chark, Marvin Jones. Who's your tight end? Who's he throwing to?
Is it still Mercedes Lewis? Because that'd be hilarious.
I don't know, and I don't think so. But exactly,
Oh no, isn't it Tyler Eifert? No, I'm not. I'm not even joking. Isn't
you
it?
know what? I think you're right too, which is hysterical. It's Tyler Eifert hasn't been relevant for 5 years. Now he's the guy that Trevor Lawrence is coming into the league to have to make sure that he is. Plus, Tyler Eifert never could stay healthy.
Also, they legitimately cut Jesus. So
Yeah. I don't see Trevor Lawrence. For me, I think it's going to be a guy like Najee Harris because he's getting
he's
legitimately
going to be the workhorse.
all the runs
But you don't
for
give,
Pittsburgh.
You don't give that to a running back ever.
But you know what? You think Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, or Trey Lance are really, truly going to blow off the doors of the NFL enough to win this award this year?
No.
Do you really think
but
that?
I do think Justin Fields.
It's
I
usually
think
a
Justin
quarterback
Fields will win it.
award, though.
What?
It usually is a quarterback award. It usually gives it to
Yes, it is. But
What?
I just think that Harris has the talent. And plus, if you look at the pedigree of Pittsburgh, the running backs that they've had through the years, these guys, they might not look like sexy on paper, but when you have a coach like Mike Tomlin, he makes it happen. He finds a way to make it happen. He made James Conner into an unbelievably good running back. Who would have saw that shit coming? And James Conner doesn't have a half the talent that Harris got.
Yep.
We all know that. And look at how successful the Steelers were when they had a running back of that caliber. Jerome Bettis is one of the first guy that comes to my mind. I mean, when they have a running back that you could rely on consistently, injuries could always happen, and it did happen to James Conner, but if Harris could stay healthy, I definitely think that he's a workhorse. He rushes for well over 1,000 yards this season, and he takes Offensive Rookie of the Year, personally.
Yeah, listen, the
can see that.
Steelers run the ball a lot.
A lot.
They've
do.
always. And this is years and years. You're saying Jerome Bettis. You forget Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, I do.
Le'Veon Bell was.
It was even
They
before
worked
Le'Veon Bell
him.
was
Exactly.
Oh man, that's gonna escape me. But there was definitely someone before Bell. It was in between.
Who was the running back of the team when they won the Super Bowl?
I can't remember. His
Well, no,
name.
well, Jerome Bettis
Bettis
was
did
one.
win
Yeah,
one.
yeah, but the
No,
second
but it was
one.
the other one.
That was against the Seattle Seahawks, that Super Bowl. The second one. And you know what? This is one of those instances where you're going to say his name. I'm going to get so mad that I don't even fucking remember it. But we could all agree that the Pittsburgh Steelers are a running team. They run the ball a lot. They established the run before they let Big Ben
Willie
air it out.
Parker,
Willie Parker?
right? Wasn't that his name?
He
I
was.
mean,
they-
I
yeah,
do
we-
Richard,
yeah.
Willie Parker or Richard Mendenhall?
See and you know they had the back by committee then, and they were both very good running backs. And that's the thing, taking guys like Rashard Mendenhall, who has mediocre talent to say the least, and turning him into a Super Bowl winning running back. You're trying to tell me Najee Harris can't figure it out one way or another?
Oh,
under
he
that
probably
offense?
will.
That's why I don't trust any of the quarterbacks in their first season this year. I just don't. That's why I'm going with the running back this year.
I just think that Justin Fields is going to come in halfway through and lead them to a winning something, and
then
he'll
they
be the
just turn around
savior
and
of Chicago, and you'll get the offensive.
I mean, if that
way.
does happen, Scott,
That's
then
very
yes,
possible as
yes,
well.
I can see it come. I
It's
can
like
see that
scripted
happening.
almost.
Yeah.
As of right now, the only one of these guys, the only quarterback that's actually starting week 1, as far as I know, is Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence is
So-
the only one starting week 1.
Yeah,
Yep.
out of all these guys.
All right, so I think we got a lot of shit done this week, fellas. Do you think? What do you guys think? We got a lot of stuff.
Covered a good amount of ground here.
No.
I mean, we
yeah,
talked
we
about
definitely did.
MVP. We talked about division winners. I think we definitely got the gist out of a lot of the things that we expect out of the 2021 football season. It's coming up soon. It's right around the corner. So anybody that took the time out to listen, thank you for taking the time out.
Yeah, definitely appreciate it.
We'll be back soon. We're going to be talking about QB rankings. We're going to be talking about the last week of preseason, all the types of things that are going to be going on over the next several weeks in the NFL. So thank you for coming out. Thank you for listening to us. We highly appreciate it, and stay tuned for the next,
Installment.
yeah, I guess that's what you call it. I forgot the word for it because, I've been drinking a little bit, but, that's pretty cool. We're trying here. We're all having a good time. So,
No, yeah.
so
We're
make
definitely
sure-
gonna try to do this once a week. We're gonna try to get it posted pretty much everywhere that you would get podcasts. We would really love. We're gonna post this definitely on YouTube. We would love for people to comment if you have any suggestions of some things that maybe you'd want us to talk about. Please let us know. We're
make sure to
always-
like, comment, subscribe. We're going to at Kickers League podcast over on YouTube, all that. And we'll catch you guys next week, just right after the third preseason game, getting geared up for the beginning of the regular season of the 2021 NFL season, everybody. Thank you for coming out. So, peace out.
Bye.